right screen.
Oh yeah, just got the
AOA. You're all live now. Please don't drop the C-bomb or, I don't know, any lyrics from Simply Red.
Well, it is.
That
was the whole plan this session, wasn't it? I mean...
Am I missing something? Is Simply Red cancelled?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
No, I believe it's for my beverage of choice.
What?
Oh.
This is drinking.
Oh, you're drinking Simply Red.
Yeah, no. Oh, man.
Welcome.
We're winning, guys.
Welcome, everybody, to the next episode of Dungeons, Dice and Dudes. How is everybody doing today?
Brad. Smashing
Eliza
Thorn.
Smashing. Yeah, really good.
This is the thing that gets me out of bed every Monday, so...
Oh, yeah.
It's good to have a reason these days, for sure.
Oh, for sure.
It is a struggle, I'm not going to lie to you. Cool. Right, well, we are on episode 9, but for us, it's session 27?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Last one was a bit of a... things happened. There you go. Let's put it that way. That's the easiest way of putting it. But before we get into that, obviously spoilers to anybody that is looking to listen to this all the way through, because I think we're up to episode 4 in terms of podcast form.
That's correct, yeah. Episode 5 will be dropping this coming Friday. So we're still a few episodes behind. But hey, come along for the good time, I guess.
Damn right. And I guess for the most part, just use this as a way to be like, I guess this is pretty interesting. I'll go back and watch the rest. If you've ever got feedback or anything like that, obviously do bear in mind that where we record quite a bit in advance, it takes a little bit of time for us to implement any kind of feedback or anything like that. But if you do have any feedback to give us, you can always do that on our social media platforms, which would be what, Tim?
It's my moment. You can follow us on Twitter for Dungeons_Dudes, or you can also follow us on Instagram, which is Dungeons, Dice and Dudes. I'll be there checking your messages, checking your feedback on comments and stuff for our posts, that kind of thing, and occasionally do a quick poll or whatever to get some feelers out of what's going on and how you guys feel about the podcast. Yeah.
Lovely stuff. Very well done. Very professional.
I know.
I like what you're about, mate.
It just keeps getting better and better by the week.
It's, yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, unless there's anything else from anybody else. No. No. Oh, actually. Oh, sorry. No. You first.
Thank you. Just a shameless plug for myself. I'm raising money for November this year. Great charity with focus towards pancreatic cancer in men and mental health issues. This is the 8th or 9th year that I've done it. Really, really cool stuff. So if you're interested in donating, I wish I knew the link off by heart. I'll post it in the chat at some point if anyone's interested. Just give us a comment.
I will allow that. I'm usually very not keen on connecting myself with charity. I feel like it's got a bad rap, or maybe I'm just misreading the situation. That's awesome, dude. And the mustache still looks good. Still looks Italian.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's used like history usually states that the last week is where it starts to look a little bit more like a British general is the only way I can describe it. Or porny, which is preferable.
Is that preferable?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm
A
not
See,
very
porn
there's
stash.
some trenches to go and storm somewhere. if you
Yeah,
wanna-
I'd rather get in a different type of trench than one in a foreign land.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to seeing how it comes along, and maybe I'll keep it for a while longer.
Fair enough.
I really wish I could grow a mustache like Tom Selleck, just like full on
Mm.
slug on your face. It was so great.
I don't think men like that exist anymore.
No.
Other than Henry Cavill,
No.
of course.
Of course.
The
Fine,
man, the
Jeff.
myth. And then finally as well, sorry to put the spotlight on you, Danilo, but as part of our podcast network, don't you have a podcast?
I do, and due this coming Friday, we have a special episode where worlds collide. It's a meeting of minds, a melding of souls,
Oh.
as our very own Simon joins me to talk about what makes him happy
In the realms of D&D, not
Right.
in life.
on
Yeah.
my Thinking Critically podcast, available on your platform of choosing.
Yeah.
Man, we're such a well-oiled machine these days. Christ.
Yeah, it's almost like
Look
we've
at
been
us
doing
go.
a year, and we finally got the hang of it.
Well, I mean, I feel like we've only been planning this aspect of all of this for like the past.
That's true. I have no idea what
4
I'm talking
months?
about. I don't know where I pulled that number from.
I mean, are you trying to besmirch my campaign? I mean, is that what's happening here?
Yes, I'm saying it's so rich with detail and happenings that it feels like we've been playing it for a year, because I just feel that fulfilled by it.
Okay, good
Nice.
save,
What
good
a
save.
You hit the word count there. You really hit the word.
Right, unless there's anything else, we'll start getting into it before we go into the early hours of the morning, which hopefully won't happen this time, but last session was a big session, so...
Big
Cool.
session.
Right, where are me notes? Okay, so a bit of a recap for everybody thus far. In the last sessions, Sabine and Quinn had launched a daring rescue attempt to free Ulrich and Frederick from a prison, escorting them to the prison located underneath the Emberhold Palace. Outmatched by the forces protecting them, Sabine was also taken prisoner, whilst Quinn managed to escape into the city. Whilst taking some time to assess the situation, Quinn was visited by the red-skinned female hooded figure who had been plaguing the group for some time now. After accosting him, they shared the information that his companions were likely to be executed publicly, though she would likely be able to keep Sabine safe. Quinn then began planning his rescue of the group during their execution, avoiding the prison, confiding in Edwin for his help in some components for a spell, some research, and connection to Caleb, a person of interest that the group had met before, and as well as that being a pseudo ex-resistance to the crown some years ago as well. Though he wouldn't help directly, given his past experiences, he did give some advice and recommended hiring some mercenaries to help with his plan of distracting some of the guards, thus making Quinn's life a little bit easier. Where did I get to? Yes. During this time, Sabine was visited by the cloaked figure, who actually revealed themselves to be her mother. She explained that she had been working for Reinhardt, and by extension the Crown, in exchange for leaving Sabine alone, and that this protection would continue should she leave her friends to die and not come back to Luxem. Slightly perturbed by this, Sabine seemed somewhat reluctant to agree one way or another. At the execution, during a a rather rousing speech by General Reinhardt, which was quickly and unceremoniously interrupted by Quinn, who unleashed a large demon that tore through the very air itself by the stage, causing a mass panic. This, coupled with the hired mercenaries who began just kind of brawling in the crowd, this allowed Quinn to make it to the stage and help both Frederick and Ulrich make it away from the stage. Sabine, unfortunately, was incapacitated by her mother. Ulrich, with his rather hefty amount of speed and pure stature, managed to make his way deeper into the city. Quinn and Frederick, however, were chased by Reinhardt and Trent. However, during this, Frederick was separated from Quinn and was eventually gunned down by Trent. Reinhardt, enraged by Quinn's interference and being made a fool of, dragged Frederick's bleeding out body back to the stage and began to immolate him in front of the residual people. And so that's technically where we left off. Now, because everybody was kind of vastly separated and essentially were all wanted criminals, we've done a bit of a time jump to kind of bring everybody back together. So I guess starting with Danilo, or Quinn, should I say. What have you been up to for the past week?
Well, firstly, I want to retcon saying something to What's-His-Face before I disappear away.
Who's What's-His-Face?
The guy that killed Fred. I forget his name.
General Reinhardt.
Yeah, Lameheart, that's the one. I want to say, just before I disappear, just before I dance and door away, I'd like to retcon me saying, twice the pride, double the fall. And then I disappear out there.
Beautiful, very nice.
So, you are... Thank you.
Yeah.
So, you were asking what Quinn's been up to for a week, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, reading, chilling out, laying low in his room at the Madame's, disguised up, hotel room service only, occasional messages to Edwin every so often when it's, maybe after about 5 days I might have popped over, but otherwise that's just waiting and reading and learning.
Cool. Ulrich.
Hello. So, again, not a huge amount, not a lot you can really do in a town where you're wanted. They want your head on a platter to be displayed before everybody. So his immediate concern was trying to get some armor, anything to protect himself, and he's obviously very upset that everything's been gone. So, what was the name of the person?
So we ended it with you being kind of just off the left-hand side of the lanes amongst some alleyways, and Calum, who was present though did not participate in the rescue, managed to find you and bring you back to Fortune's favour.
Yeah, and I, whilst recovering from the escape and everything like that, I tried to convince him to go out and get me some supplies and armor so I could maybe make my own stuff again, but a bad roll and my lovely charismatic demeanor meant that he said no. And I had nothing to do but twiddle my thumbs and lick my wounds and think about everything that happened in the last few weeks.
Sabine, bit of a bigger time for you.
Yeah, it was. So after Sabine was knocked completely unconscious by her own mother, Satine, her mum, took her away, got her to a safe location in the upper quarters, like a shop that was like disused. And they had a catch up, little mother-daughter time, catching up about the fact that she just stabbed her to unconsciousness. Reminded her mum of that, and kind of they got over that. And that her mum was saying how she's only ever done all of this to keep her safe. Sabine starts to realise she probably would have done the exact same thing. Sabine then tries to persuade Satine, her mother, to run away with her, and a poor roll, although I don't know how high it would have had to have been, meant Satine didn't decide to run away with Sabine and said that if she did run away, it would probably bring Reinhardt back to Sabine, and it would just basically make everything that just happened completely, well, not worth it, because Sabine would end up dying. So Satine said she would go to Reinhardt, and she said she would try and kill Reinhardt as well. So Satine's going to go ahead and try and take him out, fully knowing it's probably not going to go so well. But before she goes to do that, she does help Sabine go and do some thievery to try and get her some armor and some money behind her, so that when she escapes, it's not complete, being left in the wind. And it's a nice little bonding moment for mother and daughter to go out thieving and robbing together. It's very quite sweet. From there, Sabine then goes and finds out that there is a plan to escape from Luxem, which will be led by who was it that it was going to be done by? I'm trying to remember.
What the escape?
Oh, well, like the cart out of town.
Yeah. So towards the tail end of the week, each one of you would have been contacted by Edwin in some capacity, having worked with Quinn to come up with an idea of how to get you all out of Luxem, and so that's where we'd actually be picking up. So all of you would be in your respective areas. Quinn, you'd most likely already be at Edwin's. Sabine, you probably would have been able to get into Madame Gans's by this point, and then Ulrich, you would be at Fortune's Favour. And
sorry, that was a spoiler alert from me there, I guess. I wrote that on my notes. It was a bit early.
That's right.
There was one final part, which was Sabine, before her mother went, said, "Oh, if you do survive taking out Reinhardt, come and meet me at this location, like a few days before this escape plan." And she agreed. And then on the time and date of said meeting, Satine never arrives. So Sabine is left very much feeling like that's probably her mum out of the picture now, and has failed in taking out Reinhardt. So she's a bit down. And that's what Sabine's been up to.
Damn. Lots of stuff.
Yeah, shit. Wow,
Right.
I just fucking read books like a loser. 7 days.
Nerd alert!
You're just a particularly studious person. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's how Quinn rolls, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess I'm the mastermind behind everything, so...
Exactly. You just did, like, possibly one of the biggest rescue attempts in Luxem's history, so,
Yeah, don't feel bad about having big brain time. Big brain.
Thank you.
Involves a bloody demon, mate. A demon.
That was lit.
Cool. So, Quinn, you would be at Edwin's kind of doing any kind of final bits of preparation before you are loaded into this cart.
Okay, so do I know, like, have I spoken to Sabine or Ulrich at any point yet, or does Edwin know anything, or is it still all...
So none of you have spoken to each other.
Okay.
Most of this has just been done through Edwin and Calum kind of working together to think of a way to get you lot out. Over this week is Edwin has spent the time enchanting this cart to have a kind of a facade that it looks like it is just a few chests, some bundles of rags, nothing kind of too kind of innocuous. I think that's the right term. But if you were to go into it, it is enough room to seat about 6 people, and as long as nobody kind of pokes into it too much, you're okay.
Would he know about Frederick? What happened to him?
I'd say at some point that kind of information has gotten back to you lot, though you wouldn't necessarily know specifically what happened to him. You just know that he has met his end at the hand of Reinhardt.
I feel bad for having goaded him before I teleported out there. With my twice the pride thing. Shit.
Yeah. So Edwin kind of turns to you and says, "Well, I mean, it's been quite a pleasure having these little chit chats with you. I've got to say, I'm gonna miss your handsome face."
I too will miss the exciting conversations we've had. I don't get many of those when on the road, so I do appreciate the time.
Yes, well, me too, darling, and I suppose if you do ever find yourself back in Luxem after everything calms down, then perhaps we could be book buddies again.
I look forward to it, and yes, hopefully under better circumstances next time.
Yes. And he kind of goes over, "Oh, just come here," and goes over, gives you a kiss on the cheek, kind of gives you a little bit of a hug.
As he comes to hug me, I put my hand out to shake his hand and jab him in the abdomen a little bit, awkward, oh, we're doing this, okay?
Oh, I mean, careful, I might get the wrong idea.
Sorry, I just sorry, I've been buried in the books, so.
Not at all. No apology needed. So, what we're going to have Noe do, he's going to kind of drive the cart for you.
Like a chauffeur. Yes, no, that's acceptable. Yeah.
Like a valued confidant.
I say it just loud enough so he can hear if he's sitting in the driving seat.
He's just back against the doors. It's currently the shop is closed at the moment just to kind of handle this, and you just feel like a heat on the back of your head. But yes, anyway, as I was saying, Noe is going to be driving you. And he will do the rounds. He shall pick up Sabine next, as it's not too far away. Then make his way over to Fortune's Favour. Then after that, head down towards the main gates. And hopefully, should be pretty plain sailing from there. Noe's not the most physically interesting looking man. So hopefully nobody goes poking around the cart.
And what is our destination to be?
Well, the most that I can kind of obtain for you is a few miles out from Oakdale. They are expecting the cart to head over to Harmon's Bay. Unfortunately, this sort of dreary war thing is it's driving some of our resources over that way, so we don't have too much of a choice in the matter. However, I do believe he will be picking up one other person as well. Yes, just someone else trying to get out. They had the coin for it and the connections, so...
To be trusted, I hope?
Well, I mean, I certainly hope so. But people don't rarely get pointed to me without being vetted someone, so I'm sure it'll be fine.
Just one thing. Do you know if they are religious at all?
Well, as religious as the next man.
Okay, thank you very much.
Not a worry, and do look after yourself. After all, you are technically under my employ. I do expect whatever you end up doing out there, kind of keeping an eye out for anything juicy for me.
Absolutely. We are a team now, so let us continue this relationship for our mutual benefit.
Absolutely. Oh, got such a way with words, don't you, Quinn, my boy?
That's one of my many talents. Talents.
Right, well, you should probably get going. It's still relatively early in the morning. There shouldn't be too many of those damn lancers knocking about. But
Yes.
can never be too careful.
Good day, Edwin, until we meet again.
Hopefully, not too long, eh?
I bow my hat disguise, do a little pirouette on the spot like I'm out of a Disney cartoon, and transform into something innocuous myself before heading. I wait for Noe to open the door for me.
Disgraceful behaviour.
Do you need something?
Oh, yes, no, sorry. I was just hoping the door would open, but no, I'll get it. It's fine. I make a point of not holding it open for him.
Well, you just open it up and close it behind you.
Yeah, I just don't, hold it open. I just,
Oh, right.
If it swings shut, it swings shut.
No, it doesn't seem too. He's just. There's almost like a rivalry between you two. Not for anything in particular, other than just neither of you really like the other.
He's too. If Quinn thinks he's too, straight faced,
Uptight,
then he's got a problem.
Well, as you kind of exit, it's a relatively kind of cold morning. It's there's a little bit of a mist, not too much. You can still see almost directly down the lanes towards the main square that you previously sprung your friends from. But you, nevertheless, you can still see that there are a couple of lancers that are still kind of patrolling various areas of the lanes, though none of them seem to be paying you too much mind at the moment. Kind of Noe kind of keeps an eye out, and after a few seconds, good and now.
Yes, sir.
And so you quickly duck in, and like as you're kind of hop into the back of this car, it suddenly, everything that's there suddenly disappears, and you're now just sat on a bench, and it's kind of throws you off for a second. You're like, enchantments.
Okay, I pick the best, most comfiest spot and spread out a little bit.
Sure
For
thing.
a little while.
Make an investigation check for me.
Okay. This ought to be good. Holy shit, +6. Unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20. You find a bit of the bench on the right-hand side that almost has kind of been worn smooth by something being placed there, and it's nice. It's pretty smooth. There's a bit of a divot to it. Good for the back. Yeah, it's good.
Nice, I'll take that. And get comfy, get a book out to start reading. Is it like I've got like a wagon carriage kind of style, so there's a driver at the front kind of thing. Is that correct in my head?
Yeah, so it's pretty much just a fairly short raised wall on either side of the wagon, 2 benches on either side that can sit about 3 people, and then at the front it's just a single kind of seating area where Noe is sitting with a single or 2-horse drawn cart.
Once I get comfortable, I just want to knock on the wood to be like, proceed.
I know that Edwin has taken a shine to you. I just want you to know that I hate you. And he just kind of starts with the car and starts making his way off.
I cast message. I just say, I know.
Right, okay, sorry about that, everybody. I think anytime I minimize Discord, which I kind of have to do to see, other stuff, unless I buy another monitor, it kind of craps out. Nevertheless, though, before they start taking off, we did actually forget to roll HP because I'm a big dum-dum, and they leveled up at the end of the last session. So just so you guys have something else to kind of watch and kind of see them do, we'll start with Danilo. Why
I've
not?
got to find out how to do it. It's been so. I don't do it. I'll roll, and then everyone can cheer. Or
So it should be just roll your hit die and add your Constitution modifier.
I think Discord.
D&D Beyond.
6. Yeah, that's what I needed.
Hey, there you go. What does that put you at now?
Hang on.
Oh yeah. It's a wooden box, people. It is a 6.
Okay, you see it there, just at the bottom.
That looks like a 1 to me.
Nah. You're yanking my chain. That will put me on, once I work out how to do it, 56.
Nice.
No, ever so slightly higher, I think.
Oh yeah, so you have. That is bizarre. Cool. Well, next up, Ulrich. If you want to roll your HP.
HP. So 5.
5's all right.
Not with a D12.
Yeah, no, not with a D12. But hey, it's the trying that counts.
It is the trying that counts, that is true. Wait, that can't be right. Oh, yeah, it is right, because you made me lose hit points. Yeah.
Well, I didn't make you lose hit points. Technically, Frederick making a deal with someone and bringing you back to life is what made you lose hit points.
Yeah.
You made me. You did it.
You took them away from me. Nobody else.
Oh dear. Never mind.
Okay.
95 is still very respectable.
95. That's all right. You're not quite triple digits, but
Getting close.
Sabine.
Hi.
You want to roll hit points?
So that is a D10 for fighter. 7.
7. Nice. There you go.
7.
What's that? What's your fighter level now?
5 fighter, 5 rogue.
Oh,
Right in
wow.
the middle.
Nice.
Literally living her best life.
Oh yeah, you're level 10, aren't you? You mad lad.
Oh, and that.
He is a mad lad.
Mad lad.
Right. Okay. So never minimizing Discord. So, right. So Noe begins to make his way off. He kind of does literally, it's like maybe a few minutes away, if that, from Edwin's storefront to the front of Madame Ganza's. Kind of just does like a bit of a semicircle. Roland comes up to you, Sabine, and just, I am sorry for your loss. But maybe there's brighter things outside of Luxem for you.
I'm very hungover, so
Yes, you had a lot of tequila sunrises last night.
yeah, I did. I just need to go from here. I don't want to be in the city anymore.
Yes, I think the madam is in the same mindset, but that's a ways off for us. But yes, good luck out there.
Thank you. By the way, Sabina's disguised self, and she's just going as she's kind of just imagined herself as just a non-red, so just like a white, no horns, just old woman. She's just not putting any effort into the disguise today.
It's just Aunt May.
Yeah, Aunt May when Green Goblin comes from the wall. Yeah, and she's just hungover and just hating life right now.
Cool. Okay.
Oh, and before she goes, is it confirmed that the assassination attempt failed, or that her mum's gone?
So she didn't turn up. There hasn't been any word of any attempt on the general's life. There's nobody's seen him since the the execution, which, I mean, for most people that's not something to read into because war was announced, so he's probably busy doing that. But yeah, nothing. Nobody's. You've not heard any whispers about it.
Nothing solid.
Nothing solid.
Yeah, she still takes it as it's gone, shit's creek. So yeah, she's just going to go ahead and hobble over to acting up to the old woman a little bit. She's still putting a bit of pizzazz into it.
Yeah.
Hobble over to the cart.
And Noe's, you kind of get out and you see the same thing that Quinn had seen, kind of a fairly standard setup of like a few rags, some chests, nothing major. Noe kind of once again gives a look around, waits like a minute or so, then get in. You kind of get your old ass in there.
She does that really sprightly, so it's weird. It's quite energetic and athletic how she gets in, but it's this old woman just...
It's almost like that classic fighting thing where they're on their back and they just onto their feet.
Yeah.
My God. But as you get inside, you see before you Quinn.
Well, actually, I'm disguised as an innocuous person
Sorry.
as well.
Sorry. You see... What is it that he sees, sorry?
Just like an everyman, my usual go-to. So proper mundane looking, just like a dude that you just bump in onto the street. A John Doe.
Does Sabine know this escape plan's been orchestrated by Quinn?
Well, the most information that you would have gotten is that Edwin and Quinn have helped kind of organise travel out of Luxem. So he's part of it. You don't know where he is, though.
Can I roll against your disguise, just out of curiosity? Is there like a...
I think it's identical to yours, so...
Oh, probably, yeah. So we could probably both roll against each other then. And see.
If you're trying to figure it out. Otherwise, I mean, you don't have any reason to be suspicious of this man that's in the car.
Yeah,
well, as
he
you
wants to figure it out.
As you jump in, I will just say to you, so your voice doesn't change, it's just how you look. So I wouldn't be bothering to put on a voice, so I would just say, "Oh, are you the extra person Edwin told me we'd be picking up?"
Sabine likes to do accents. But before she says anything, she's going to try and figure out if that's a disguise you've got on. She's not taking any chances now.
You can inspect my appearance. It's a wisdom, an investigation check. But cool. It's quite hard to beat.
She's gonna try it. She's gonna give it a whirl. Yeah, that's not gonna win it. It's a 10.
Oh yeah, no.
So you can't discern it, but you hear the voice and you're like, "Oh, that's Quinn's voice."
Yeah, Sabine's just gonna. Yes, dear, it's me. I'm not going to let down my guard just yet, though. That's putting on a voice of an old woman.
Okay. I just go back to my book. Pay no heed.
Cool. As Noe starts to take off again, this time he kind of addresses you to, do try to keep chatter to a minimum.
Yes, of course, dear.
After a few more minutes or so go by, about 5-10 minutes, the car comes to a halt. And you, Ulrich, are kind of ushered down a bit of a side alley.
Have I got like I was going to ask Caleb for like a tent on me or a cloak.
He doesn't give you a tent or a box. He gives you quite a hefty kind of blanket that kind of drapes over you and obscures some of the green colouring of your skin, though you are still quite large. They take particular time making sure that there's nobody around, there isn't anybody kind of looking out of windows.
I do hunch down as well to make myself look smaller and kind of scurry a little bit rather than the normal kind of stride I have.
Yeah, so you go down from like your you're 7 foot to about 6.5 foot.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, you are kind of quickly hurried into the back of the wagon, which kind of does descend a little bit as you get on. And inside, before you, you see a fairly average-looking man and an old woman.
He just like stops in his track and is like, "Am I about to be killed? This seems." And he steps back out again.
I say,
Caleb starts pushing you in. Get in, goddammit!
Oh, Caleb, there's an old woman and a man in here. I don't think it's the right.
I'm sure it's fine. Just get in before someone sees you.
Okay.
It's us.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why are you?
yes, it is us. I lie.
Okay. Who's us?
It's Sabine.
Oh, Sabine, you're right. And then who are you?
It's me, friend. It's Quinn. I take it. I clock that you don't have the mace on you anymore.
Yeah. He actually looks fairly devoid of anything, including Peacemaker, unfortunately.
Okay. I say, get in, you idiot.
I just have a short sword.
Yeah.
Loser, we're going shopping.
I'm like, oh, fine. All right then.
Yeah, pretty much all he's wearing is some kind of slightly checkered brown pants, some brown shoes, a kind of white top with almost like a leathery hide waistcoat on.
Hold on. Is this everybody's favourite ogre?
Yeah.
What are you doing, mate?
Everybody's favourite ogre.
But yeah, so you get down.
You just Shrek'd me.
I did just Shrek you, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, but it felt like the right time.
I mean, when it feels right, it feels right.
Damn right.
Always right for Shrek.
Cool. And the cart begins to make its way over again, a little bit further afield over to the kind of the slums area, but just a little bit before then, closer to the old hollow where you were, Quinn, and stops, and another person hops into the back of the cart. Sai, would you like to describe what they see?
Here we go.
With pleasure. In walks in a not exactly the tallest creature you've seen, around about 5'2", not particularly wide either, but still very much like in proportion. And if you look at him quickly, you'd assume he's quite stout, despite being a little bit more on the athletic side. What's most striking about him is that his skin somewhat resembles very, very short, fine fur. There's actually blemishes of it surrounding his face, so quite a heavy, unkempt beard and hair that's attempted to be swept back, but it's actually quite stiff fur. His face is, you'd still kind of recognize as human, but it does move into quite a bit of a snout, and almost bear-like in features. Actually, due to his face and his body shape, he actually does kind of look like a small baby bear. Yeah. Doesn't look. He looks roundabout middle-aged, if not younger. But obviously, with his skin being more fur than anything else, than wrinkles or anything like that. It's still very, very. There's skin there, but you know how like you'd have like hairy cheeks and stuff like that. That appears to be a little bit thicker. And for those of you that are a little bit more travelled, this type of person is known as a shifter, more specifically a beast hide.
A furry.
Are you an Ewok?
Neither of those things. It's very cool, guys.
It's totally cool. It's not lame at all.
The only, I'd say, Ulrich and Quinn, you could make history checks to see if you've heard of shifters before.
25.
25?
It's a 3.
Right. So Ulrich, not so much. Quinn, where you are from the eastern continents, you have you kind of recognise the shifter only in so much as you've seen a couple of them from was it Wai-San?
Wai-San, I think, yeah.
Sorry, just double checking my own notes. Yeah, so from Wai-San, but you know that they are predominantly on Waisul and have just kind of made their way up north. Though they are few and far between, so it's a bit odd to see one here. But yeah, you recognise that.
Okay. As you get in, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You notice actually he walks in with a notebook and an instrument of writing in his hand.
Okay. I then say, with the most confidence I can muster after having it shook mere moments ago, I say, you are the fourth who is looking to vacate the city.
Well, I guess it would appear that way. I guess I'm fourth only by manner of which I entered this here lovely cart on its way out of the city, eh? But, hey, on a different day, maybe I would have been the third, or maybe I would have been the second. You never know these days.
Fuck off, Simon.
I'm already in love. Fantastic stuff.
Every time Si comes up with a new character, I just fall deeper in love with Simon. It's so good.
Oh man, well done. I say, yes, quite. Hail from the eastern continent, do you?
Well, I'm from a little-known town called, well, I say town, more like a city if we're talking geographically. But it's a little-known place called the Deep Helm. Those of you that I'll be joining on this ride, if you're a little bit more traveled, then you would have heard of it. I'm from, funnily enough, one of the villages from around there. But I served as the city watch for around about 15 years now. Not too bad, you know. You kind of keep trouble out of the town, and you get well rewarded. But I thought it was time to... there I go, kind of letting my mouth run away with me there. I think we're all a little bit clandestine. However, I know one of you looks kind of familiar to me, the Ock fella here. I've seen him around before, but again, that's my mouth getting the best of me. I probably shouldn't have told you where I would have seen you, so I'm just going to keep myself quiet over in the corner here. And he finally takes a seat and actually just starts writing something in his...
So Ulrich takes a moment to kind of like take in this furry being in front of him. It's kind of like... I don't mean to be rude, but a quick question, just simply because I'm interested. How have you not been eaten yet?
Like I said, I'm from a pretty wild village and a wild background. I was actually the battle master for the City Watch, and I've actually been in Luxem for... let's just say reasons I can't go into right now, but I was quite well protected and we didn't really encounter many beasts and entities that would want to, have me as a snack, I'd say. So I've been quite lucky. Only the second city I've ever visited in my inevitably short life. I don't know if you know much about my kind of people, but we don't really have the longest lifespan. I don't think I've really ever heard of any of my people being eaten either. So if I was, then I guess they'd probably make a legend out of me or something.
Are you always going to be this cheerful?
Well, I'm alive today after everything that's kind of gone through. My condolences to you. Yeah.
All right then. Well, yeah. Welcome to the club. We're trying to run away from being.
Yes, that's quite enough. Let us make our way, shall we?
Well, I kind of have a couple of assumptions, especially about you there, big fella, about why you're on. I've kind of seen you around these parts before, although you're running with a slightly different-looking crew. But I think it's probably about time I let slip. I'm here for the same reasons you are, and last time I was trying to escape the city, I saw a great friend, someone who I'd seen before, get the tar kicked out of him, and he was later immolated. I didn't stick around for that bit, but that's what they told me.
That was Frederick.
That's the guy.
He was a good man and looked after me. I'm a bit thick sometimes, get myself into trouble, and he was very often there to look after me in those silly times. I miss him.
I'm very sorry to hear about the loss of your friend, especially considering, probably not the first, as I knew you were traveling with another gray fella and a red woman as well, and a little guy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they all died. It's just me. These are my new crew. Yeah.
Hello, we're the new crew.
It's almost
it's
like
a pleasure.
bad luck follows you around, Ulrich.
It seems like everyone I love and know just gets brutally murdered. Not always by me, might I add. Sometimes it's other people.
Oh, are you saying some of the other guys were by your hand?
Well, no one that you'd know, but sometimes people piss me off, and I'm very large. And
So at this point, that Noah's like, "Could you please shut up? You're currently a talking cart."
Oh shit! Yeah, I'll be quiet.
As is making his way through the city, because you guys can all see out, so you see everything kind of with like a slight kind of darkened like tint to it, but you can still see everything outside, and you see that you are now starting to pull up to the main gates, and there's like a whole like check system that's now in place. It's one cart at a time. They kind of have these weird looking hounds kind of run around the actual cart itself. There is a significant increase in security around here, and there's a bit of a wide berth where there is normally a few market stalls. There does seem to be a good like 60-foot, 70-foot radius around this checkpoint now. As like your cart is slowly coming up to it, Noe just kind of reiterates, "Please do not make a sound. I will leave you all here to be burnt alive if I have to."
Can Sabine be, whilst looking out and just listening, can she be just trying to take in any possible information, any kind of news, or can she just listen in to conversations that are happening in the street, or is it like can't hear outward?
You can still hear. Make a perception check.
Cool. That is 15.
15. I mean, other than just kind of general kind of chit chat among, like, as you're coming through like the market area, most the most thing that anybody's talking about is just kind of like the general like war, and kind of you hear like some people like, oh yeah, I'm looking, it's about time we get rid of those damn terror cells and stuff like that, but nothing in particular. It's just general.
Yeah, no specifics.
Yeah, just general chatter. You finally come up to the actual check itself, which is in between the prison kind of bunker and the building that was on the far side as well, on the left-hand side of the wall. And you see Noe kind of being questioned, hands over some sort of piece of paper, can't see what's on it from where you are. They kind of have a once-over, and it's weird because they are looking pretty much directly at you, but don't appear to react in any way. Yeah, and after a few moments, kind of, there's like a couple of growls from these hounds that are next to the cart, but they kind of like pull them away, and just say, yes, seems in order, move it along. And it slowly creaks forward, very nice and steady, and eventually you start pulling out of the main gates, which you haven't done in quite some time. And as you're pulling away, I get you all to make a perception check for me.
Hell
Do you want me to
yeah!
do the last one, or do you want me to roll again?
Roll again.
Okay.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Nice. 19.
Mm-hmm.
Unnatural 21.
And what? Quinn?
Oh, sorry, I was muted. 6.
6. Gideon?
Unnatural 20.
So for all of you, as you're starting to come out from the main gates, you see that there are a couple of people still dotted around outside. There does seem to be more kind of armaments set up outside as well. A couple of like kind of barricades and things like that. But as you're kind of looking up on the walls, you do see that there is, hanging down the side of the wall, a charred, burnt corpse hanging from a rope.
I think I'm going to need to take a 5 for a crying break on this one.
It's really weird. My lights just turned off as you were saying that. It's like,
Is that...
hey, hold on. Can we see? Is there any more detail to the body? Is it definitely?
It's pretty black and burnt. You can't really make out any details. It's pretty high up as it is, and you're kind of slowly starting to make your way away from it, so it's hard to tell any details. But you could draw some conclusions.
I'd keep my head down, bury it in the book, and just pray that we move fast.
Yeah.
Being just hungover as fuck, but seeing this, just sharp inhalation, just like out of like initial kind of just worry about who it could be. She realizes who it is eventually, but
you sort of see Ulrich like start to tremble with rage. You know how when you're really angry and you can see someone like shaking a little bit, but he's trying to contain it because he knows the situation he's in. You just see him just like writhing, and he's frustrated, and he really wants to like. You can tell he really wants to just like scream out about what's happened to his friend, but he doesn't.
So because you left pretty early in the morning, by the time it gets to nightfall, it's a pretty straight shot. Most of these roads actually have a fair amount of traffic coming to and from Oakdale and Harmon's Bay. There's a lot of resources that are being shipped to and from, so the roads themselves are pretty safe. It's not until you get a few miles or so, probably a little bit more than that, out of Oakdale, and you can actually just see the lights of Oakdale on the horizons, that it starts to get dark. No, I kind of we'll take a break here. I need some rest before I head back in the morning. I'll set up camp for the time being.
Like, side note, Sabine has dropped out of disguise now because it only lasts an hour. So
Yeah. It would have taken a good hefty amount of hours to get this far. But yeah, you can all hop out, and it's kind of he's only just pulled off the side a little bit, using the cart as like almost like a shield from you lot, just off to the side. Doesn't appear to be anybody around. It's pretty empty. Nice clear sky.
Ulrich would like to just go and find some firewood to make a little campfire.
Sure, make a survival check.
Overall for survival.
Once Sabine drops disguise and goes back to looking like a red tiefling, Gideon kind of catches Gideon's eye, and he looks at her for a good like half a minute or so, and then suddenly starts to scribe in his notebook.
Does Sabine see this?
I mean, unless you're trying to be discreet about it, I'd say it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, like he's just holding it like just in front of him, and just sort of he's already looked up at her, like not very discreetly. So yeah, she probably would notice.
What do you think you're doing there, pal?
Oh, I'm just taking notes, sir.
Sure. Sabine just pulls out one of her daggers and then just starts like pushing it against her finger, just like that, and just like slowly twisting.
Hey, no, don't hurt yourself there. See, sorry if you kind of took it the wrong way. It's just the way that I was brought up in the school of combat that I attended. It was kind of my job to make notes of everyone who was around me, just so I could kind of get to grips with what they're good at and what their skill set is, eh?
Okay. I'm not worried about hurting me, but okay. She just keeps doing it and just eyeballing you.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of get back to my notes, sir. But if you need me, just give me a tap. Just don't play with knives so much, eh?
I want to.
I'll be sure to bear that in mind.
I rolled a 14 on my survival check.
Yeah, it takes you a little bit of time. I mean, it is dark, but you eventually find a decent kind of arm full of loose kind of twigs and stuff like that from a few trees and bushes that are dotted around. Not a massive amount. It's still pretty barren. Not barren, but it's a pretty clear landscape. But yeah.
Right, I'll go and make the fire and chill out. Maybe see if I can find something to eat.
Once you've put the sticks in place, I will prestidigitate the fire on the campfire to start it for us.
Thank you very much. I was just going to the old Ray Mears method, but that works as well.
You look like you could. You should save the effort. It's a sorry state you found yourself in.
I do look a bit worse for wear, as they say, but I've been through worse.
I wanna.
But whatever.
I wanna just take you to not one side, but obviously, maybe Sabine is eyeing up this other mook. I just want to offer my hand to you, Ulrich, to shake your hand and just say, I heard what happened to Frederick, and I'd like to extend my condolences.
Thank you very much. That does mean a lot. I know that you and him weren't particularly the best of friends, but we were a team, and we got some stuff done. Between all the dying and resurrecting and new people coming into the team and more dying and all that kind of stuff.
He
was a good man.
We may not have seen eye to eye, but he certainly had potential, which is a loss to
Aye.
us all.
He will be sorely missed. But hey, we've got a cute little bear now.
Hmm. I want to go over to Sabine now and say a very similar thing, but like Ulrich's was a practice run of talking to people and trying to be like have humility for a change. So I just come over and say something, very similar, like, I know you two were closer than perhaps he and I were, but it must be difficult to have lost someone like that.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, Frederick was he was a really good guy. I liked him. I thought he definitely kept Ulrich in check, which will be sorely missed, and kept him alive, which I don't know if I can do the same. I just don't know if I've got it in me anymore. But yeah, we were a good team, and he will be missed.
Indeed.
That was a bit of a shit show back there, eh? It doesn't look like our plan really pulled off that well. Your plan pulled off really well. Our plan was shit.
I like to think that we had we succeeded 66%, as no disrespect, but we only lost one of you, so...
Yes, the numbers are quite telling.
I quickly just kind of... excuse me.
As he goes off, Sabine's just going to go try and find Noe and be like, have you got any drink of any sort? I think we all need something tonight.
He's sat, like, so you've kind of set up camp about 10-15 feet away from the cart. He's still sat in, like, the driver's seat, kind of staying away from you. Oh, we've lost Tim for a second.
Oh, he's gone.
He's gone. He's had enough.
Coming back. But yeah, as you kind of address him, it opens his eyes, looks at you, and is like, I do not drink. So no, I don't.
Right. Okay. Well, good chat. She's gonna stumble back over to the campfire and just go for a dagger again and just like be flicking it around and playing with it. She's just like in her head, just thinking about stuff. So
yeah. Gideon, just as a quick aside, were you specifically doing that thing whilst you were looking at Sabine?
As in taking notes?
Taking notes.
Yeah,
He was taking...
that attribute.
Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, enough time had passed.
What did you want to know?
I mean, I wasn't actively doing it.
Oh, right,
so
okay.
That wasn't my intention of the play.
Right,
but,
okay, yeah.
You know.
Yes,
I
well,
guess
actually, no.
in terms of the game, he would know that information.
Right, okay. So you don't want to know two of those things?
No, I completely remembered. Yeah. Sabine is like half fighter, right?
Yeah.
yeah, fighter. Role.
Yeah. Then
50-50.
he would know her fighter feats and I'm forgetting all the words. Features and traits as a fighter.
Have I missed?
Simon's working out how to play D&D.
Yeah, a lot of words were said. I'm not sure myself.
Right, okay. So it just says that you know all of them. It doesn't specify what exactly you find out. So give me 2 seconds. I'll pull up the sheet and then, yeah.
Let me...
I've got Sabine's things open if I can expedite the process.
Yeah, sure. What's your strength score?
Strength is 12 plus 1. Is that what you're looking for?
So 12.
Yeah.
What's your dex score?
15.
What's your Constitution score?
12.
What's your AC?
14.
What is your health?
My health is 84.
And then your fighter level?
5.
Cool.
Cool. Thank you.
No, thank you. Whatever you're doing. You cheeky bugger.
Okay. Anything else from anybody else before you retire for the evening?
Just throughout the whole time, like everyone's kind of bearing down, Gideon is just kind of stood, I guess, as a watch, just looking out over the plain. Natural instinct has kicked in to protect.
Cool.
God, I was going to say, you go.
Well, if you've got, I was just about to wind the evening down. So, if you've got anything else?
Yeah. So I'm guessing we have water, skins, or at least something to drink.
Yeah. You've got like basic ration foods to tide you over for the evening.
Sabine, just with everybody round the fire now, just goes, I asked Noe if he had something a bit better, but he doesn't drink because he's a boring fuck. So I think
You have
we should,
that right.
I think we should all raise a water skin. And she says it with just like the least amount of like water skin to our friend Frederick, and just pours some out, has a sip, and just be like, yeah, he will be missed.
To Frederick, the dumb bastard.
Cool. So you'll eventually retire for the evening. Gideon, if I could get you to make a perception check for me, as you're keeping an eye out.
15.
15. Over the course of the evening, nothing approaches. You do see like one or two wagons kind of go past towards Oakdale, seemingly not paying you too much mind. But the sky is still clear. There's a good hefty amount of moonlight that kind of just lights the kind of stretching grasslands ahead of you, with a little bit of vegetation here and there. A couple of look like antelopes or something like that, just kind of grazing, kind of make their way past, but nothing untoward.
Cool. Well, you say that, but I haven't pointed out yet that Gideon's got dark vision, so you might want to.
Oh, fuck.
Tell that.
Mate, why didn't you say? You actually see another dimension in the dark. It's a fucking whole new world.
Okay. And if I observe that, do I know the stats of every being in that realm?
You actually see how the very fabric of reality intertwines.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No,
Yeah.
that's good to know.
You're basically Scarlett Johansson in the film Lucy right now. Dark.
You see the face of God.
Yeah.
But after that, you end up getting yourself some sleep. Just quickly, Quinn, I get you to roll a perception check for me with disadvantage as you are asleep.
Yeah, and also no modifiers to that bad boy, so
Ooh.
sure. 20. Cool. That's a 1, guys.
1. Okay.
Raw dogging it.
So everybody eventually wakes up in the morning. You're not entirely sure what sort of time it is. You, Quinn, though, you've had like a really uncomfortable night's sleep, and as you wake up, you see that there is actually a couple of like caltrops that have been placed underneath your back. Yeah, hurt.
Okay. I would like to, like a crime scene investigator, pick him up with the mage hand and put them in little bags.
Sure thing.
Scoop them up, put them in a little bag.
There's only a couple of them. They're fairly dull, but because of the pointed nature of them, caused you to kind of toss and turn a lot throughout the night.
I go over to Gideon. And I toss the bag of caltrops at his feet or in front of him if he's sitting down and say,
"Oh, hey, what's this gift you got there for me? Thank you."
I fear it might have been a gift you left for me, Battle Master. Would you mind identifying these?
Oh, yeah, you betcha. He takes them out. I think with his experience, he does kind of know what they are. Oh, these are these are little contraptions are caltrops. You know, usually back in Deep Elm, we get a couple of horseshoes and whittle off the ends, and we're able to turn them into these little things. But I'd say these ones are a little bit more crude.
Would you mind explaining to me how they found their way under my bedroll?
Oh, well, that, sorry, sir, but that's a little bit of a mystery to myself there. See, I was sleeping in my bedroll over there, and I guess someone must have snuck up on you and popped them under there.
Can I drop a little insight on him to see if he's telling porky pies?
Sure.
Oh, that's more like it. That's unnatural 20.
Yeah, it's telling the truth.
Okay. I still I believe you, but I'm still not fully trusting. So I say,
I spent time in the academy myself, learning the things that I learned. So a little bit of hazing does go a long way. But I gotta warn you, if you keep up these accusations, it's not gonna end too well for you there, bud.
Oh, hey there, bud.
Yes.
No one is going to end up being like the big bad of this campaign because Quinn pissed him off so much.
What are you talking about? I don't know.
I say to Gideon, duly noted. And I leave my interrogation there, but I'm just suspicious. I kind of look for tracks, I guess, near my bedding.
Oh, hey, excuse me there, fella. You left your caltrops.
Let's just say perhaps they were a gift in this case. You can keep them. Do with them
Oh,
as
well,
you fit.
much obliged. Many blessings, I guess from your deity. I'm not too sure what you city folk over here worship, but
I choose not to worship false prophets or hypocrites, as I prefer. But you may thank me.
Okay. Well, have a good day there. Thank you very much for the gift.
If you would like to investigate the area around your bedroll, you may.
Can I just clarify what's a cow drop?
It's like a little spiked. It's
Narrow toe.
yeah.
What?
I don't know.
Spike things that ninjas throw behind them to stop people chasing after them. Little spiky balls.
How do
Ooh,
you
nice.
spell that so I can get a picture?
It's caltrops. Caltrops.
There you go.
Cow drop.
Not just playing D&D, but educating people too.
It's a twofer.
Yes, they're cool.
Yeah.
Unnatural 20, 14 in plus 6.
Strangely enough, there doesn't appear to be any footprints leading up to your bedroll. No disturbance of the dirt. It's
as if someone would do they could somehow move without leaving any effects of how they moved. Okay. Quinn pockets that piece of information in the back of his head.
Yeah.
And begins to roll up his bedroll, shaking out any more fucking caltrops there.
So as you guys kind of start to pack up and clear away, Noe eventually comes over and just says, well, this is where I'll be leaving you. Where you head off to after this is entirely your business. Quinn, you still have some matters with Edwin, but I suppose it will be a while before we see you again.
Yes, indeed. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, it has, hasn't it?
Oh, you could cut the tension with a spoon.
I guess you can.
We're just walking from here. How far away are we from anywhere?
From here, from here, you could see Oakdale on like the horizon. So it's probably maybe like 5 miles out or so. It's not super far. It'll take you a couple of hours, maybe.
Oakdale's the place where I upset everybody, right?
That is the first place that you went to. That's where you helped at the Cliff Point garrison, and then also delivered a dead corpse to a woman, and then tried to break into a house.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, there was some shifty shit going on there.
There was definite voodoo and other bits and bobs going on.
And then is Harmon's Bay like on the other side, or is that the same area? Or?
So Harmon's Bay is back up the road,
Past,
a couple of miles, and then you turn left. But from what they were saying, there was a lot of resources being sent there, largely because if a war were to take place, it would probably be naval for the most part.
I see on the map now. Sorry, I've got my head. Boom, boom.
That's right.
Okay, before we leave, then I think Nathan, you and I talked about it, about the javelin.
Yes.
I would say, Ulrich, could I have your attention, please, for a moment?
Yeah.
I know it is not a replacement. However, perhaps this may do something to lift your spirits. And I give him the javelin that was part of the deal.
Oh, I'd forgotten about this. This brings warm feelings to my heart. I think I'll name it the Grey Boy, after the deceased Frederick. Nice little homage, don't you think? Yeah. And
That's nice.
And he slots it on his back. And just kind of takes a moment and says, yeah, the Grey Boy. I wonder if he'll start talking to me in Frederick's voice. Interesting.
In the time I've had it, DM, can I basically know that it's not? It's just mundane, right?
Yeah, you would know that it's just a magical item. That it's not cursed.
So I would say to him, if you should not hear voices from this, if you do, or if anybody else tells you you do, please let me know as soon as possible.
Okay, but why?
Because they are lying to you, or something has gone terribly, terribly wrong.
Well, what's wrong about having a talking weapon? Is that not like the norm with all cool magical weapons and shit?
No, it is not. You were exceptionally lucky with your previous two. So.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And you see Ulrich kind of like a very wry smile goes across his face, and he's like feeling pretty chuffed with himself. It's like, oh, well, I must be good at finding very rare things then.
Indeed. So, are we headed to this Oakdale place?
Yeah, so Noe kind of says goodbye to each one of you, leaves you to your devices. As he walks past you, Quinn just kind of looks you up and down, says, sleep well, and walks away. Walks away, gets into the car, and starts making his way off. Now, just as a quick point, you do all still have a bedroll, a water skin, and about 5 lots of rations. So you've got some to get you by, but other than that, that's about as much as you've got. Other than whatever you.
Am I in the same boat as well, or do I still have my normal equipment?
You would have all of your normal equipment.
Cool.
And then
as Noah is just starting to head off. Sabine just wants to quickly catch him as he's heading to the car, but out of earshot of everybody else, if
Yeah.
possible.
Sure.
And just be like, I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but if you hear anything regarding my mother, Satine, I have asked Roland. I have asked Roland to basically let her know where I am going, and if you hear anything that she is still alive, she's probably not. But if you do, please let her know where we were left and are heading.
I will pass the message on to Edwin. He will more likely be there and be able to communicate with you.
And if you hear information that she definitely is gone, please also let me know. It would mean a great deal to me.
Indeed.
And yeah, she'll go and join the group.
Right, so yes, you are currently left by the roadside. Relatively clear day, a little bit of cloud cover, nice even temperature. And yeah, you can see Oakdale in the distance. You can see the gilded. I think it was the gilded. Whoop. Yeah, the gilded forest off to your left-hand side, and then the Madeline Peaks kind of splitting off the horizon line.
Gideon goes to address the group and just says, okay, so I kind of notice here that I guess with you guys being enemy of the state, they stripped you of all your equipment and your wares and your weapons, so I've got a few bits going spare. I don't really like to dabble with a couple of weapons at once in combat, so any of you are looking for a little bit of weaponry, I've got some stuff that you can borrow, eh? It seems a little bit silly to kind of venture off, and I'm the one pack muling all these weapons when I can only use one at a time,
That's very kind of you. What have you got? Come on, show us the goods.
Okay, so
Tell me what you got.
I've got some arrows here. Not very good if you don't have a bow, so I've got a long one of those, and I've got 2 hand axes. And that's pretty much it. I've got a warhammer, but that's kind of my personal effect. So bows or hand axes, take your pick.
Let me just look up hand axes. 2 seconds.
Yeah, D6, if memory serves.
Pretty sure, yeah. Just for clarification, you do not have your bag of holding anymore either.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, I didn't cross that over.
Yeah.
I'll be all right. I've got this short sword, but the offer hasn't gone unnoticed. You're in my good book so far, little man.
Oh well, Ulrich, is it? Thank you very much, sir.
I've entirely forgotten your name. What was it?
Oh, my name is Gideon. I'm sorry there, guys. I don't believe I introduced myself. It's Gideon Daorn from the Deep Helm City.
I know the whole life story. Gideon's fine. Jesus.
Okay. Sorry, woke up on the wrong side of the bed there, did you?
I always wake up on the wrong side of the bed.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that, my friend. Maybe, we can visit someone to help you out. Back in the Deep Helm, we got like osteopaths and kind of someone else who sat out your back there.
Ulrich walks away.
Okay, well, nice know to you, friend. How about any of you others, Did not kind of be rude to your green friend there, but this is kind of something I wanted to discuss, but we didn't really get much of a chance. Kind of horrible that you guys were, running errands for the Crown's Guard, and then they pinned that terrorist attack on you, eh?
I wouldn't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yourself and Ulrich over there, and your old pal. He was another great skin. He had a little bit more of a serious demeanor on him. Took out a gang of orcs, or at least looked into it for the Crown's Guard. Passed right by my place of work there on the mountains. Spoke to that horrible commander or captain. I kind of forgot his rank, higher than mine, I tell you. But spoke to Danton, who kind of gave you some marching orders there. But 1 week you're helping out the Crown's Guard, and you think you're in their pocket, and then the next year you come on home, and you're being accused of aiding and abetting enemies of the state. There, kind of a horrible turn of the luck.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. I'll take the bow. And then she's just gonna grab that off him. And just be like, cheers. Oh, and the arrows as well. And then she's just gonna turn around.
Oh, okay. Take care now.
Cool.
You will warm up.
And
She's just had a bit of a bad few days.
What about you, young one? You seem quite bright. I imagine someone like yourself is... can I pick you for a guy who uses tomes and scrolls to do much of his defending rather than these martial weapons I got here? Hey, I guess that looks a little bit primitive to you, but it's what I'm good at, and it's what I'm trained at. But I guess you're kind of a spell user, eh?
Quinn goes to speak. You can see him almost instinctively get ready to jump on the aggressive the attack almost before he says, and he looks at Sabine and Ulrich and says, the weapons one chooses plays into one's strengths, so although mundane, they are very effective in the right hands, so they are not beneath me, but I do prefer the battle of wits more than a battle of steel.
And after Quinn says that, he kind of takes out his notebook and jots down another thing, and maybe starts drawing like arrows and little shapes, as you can guess from his hand movements.
I say, seeing as that book of yours isn't quite secretive, you wouldn't mind me taking a small look at it then, would you? I'm a bit of a book reader, a bookworm myself.
Well, yeah, I guess, it's a little bit more use to me than it would be to a spellcaster like yourself, but hey, I don't mind swapping strategies with the next guy, so please, by all means.
What's he said about me?
And he's presented, he presents him a tiny notepad, probably not dissimilar in size to this one, and inside, when you look at it, you kind of see everyone, including, I guess, Noe, their names and kind of terms that you'd use. He's kind of surmising what they'd be good at in battle. Lots of crossed out words and question marks and stuff like distance and swordsmith or spellcaster and stuff like that. And yeah, it's a little bit of a jumble, and then there's like a drawing with like circles, and I guess it just looks like a formation and arrows and such.
I spot in your notes for Quinn a very small like typo or mistake and fix it, and I'm like, I see you've put 60 foot here. That's actually 120. It's actually double what you had down. Hand it back to him.
Yeah, once he writes that underneath, he just writes under Quinn's name, Meta, ?
Arrogant is more right.
Just as a quick point, so Sabine, you've got your dagger of venom, you got your hand crossbow because you magically bonded with them.
I don't think the crossbow's got any ammo though, has it?
Yeah, I was going to say the crossbow won't have any ammo, and then you'd only have the arrows that Gideon has just provided you, and then it only work on a bow.
It was a longbow, just a standard longbow. Yeah.
And then how many arrows?
20.
Cool. Gracias.
And was it a javelin of lightning that Didn't
Yeah.
just get
Yeah.
cool. I'll put that in. Ulrich was going to turn to everybody. I was like, well, what now, guys? What's the plan?
How long does it take to get to Oakdale, DM?
From where you are now, probably like a couple of hours.
Okay,
Not-
I want
not
to wait
super
until
far.
we're half an hour away, and then I'll do something. Otherwise, I say yes. No, let's head to Oakdale. I suppose. I don't know if anyone's been there before.
I've been there before.
Okay. Do we need to put a bin bag on your head again?
I mean, it's possible.
I mean, we're still in like the grips of like Luxum's power, right? Maybe we should just very much lay low and let the nun, do any talking. Who's the most normal looking here?
Yeah, all right. And he kind of just like grabs his hood a bit further up his face, punches a bit more down, and just kind of carries on.
My
Is it
God,
more
they're
than a lot?
learning.
Would you
Horns
say
still poking at the top.
would you say Ulrich is more noticeable than pretty much Sabine and myself?
Yeah. Like
Okay.
I'd say for the most part, because you're outside of the capital,
Yeah.
if as long as you two kind of keep like some hoods up, enough to kind of hide your horns and not directly communicate with any guards, you should be fine. But Ulrich, you'd have to use something to disguise him.
All right. I say, okay. Well, while you're walking, Ulrich, I take my hat off and give it to him, and say, get comfortable with this hat.
Okay. And he kind of puts it on his head and is like, it doesn't quite fit on my head.
It will fit. Let's go.
I feel a bit silly with this on.
Don't worry, you won't do for long.
Yeah, over the course of the next hour, it magically fits your head. It's crazy that.
Oh,
Nice.
that's great. I like this hat now. It fits my head.
So after a few hours or so, as you're starting to get closer to the village, does anybody want to do anything in particular?
Yes.
Yeah. What would you like to do?
I would like to ritual cast augury.
Oh.
This is new spell. He's going to use it.
Yeah, it's only in the wizard spell list thanks to Tasha's, so I am
Fucking Tasha.
eager to stretch these legs.
Okay. How many of those material components did you buy?
So
It's only 25
one,
gold, but you had all of that.
Yeah, so one set of this, and then I need to check of whether I needed it for any other spell, but it doesn't get consumed for this, so definitely 25 gold would have been gone.
Cool.
Off of that.
Okay, so once
so I say, everybody, please, let's go to one side for a moment, somewhere discreet for 10 minutes. I have something that may be able to help us, but you just need to give me a few moments, if you may.
You're going to wave your hands a bit around and do some magic-y stuff, are you?
Yes. While I'm doing that, Ulrich, why don't you take the opportunity to put on a silly voice for a bit of fun? Why don't you just try out some new words and phrases and just for a laugh, do some silly voices for me, if you could.
Silly voices.
Yes. Like our new friend Gideon's here, hilarious voice. Why don't you do something like that?
Oh man, I wasn't prepared for this RP of trying to be Ulrich doing an impression of someone. Well, okay. How's about I go and take a seat down here? How's about I don't kill the guards this time? Is that good?
Yes.
Just start slow clapping.
No, I think it still needs a bit of work there. Hang on, let me go.
So I immediately regret because now when I'm trying to concentrate on casting the spell, all I've got is Abu, Abu.
At some point, he's like, "Oh, I give up. I'm gonna take a crap," and he just walks off to shit in the butt.
So I lay it out on the floor like a transmutation circle. To receive an omen from an otherworldly entity, which I had a thought, Nathan, that maybe it, because I'm like all to do with time, maybe it can be from like Mechanus, because they're all to do with like the order of things and clockwork and cogs and gears and shit. So maybe they would be your flavour.
Sure.
To receive an omen about the results of a specific course of action that we intend to take within the next 30 minutes.
Yes.
So the action that we're going to take is to enter Oakdale, and you choose from possible omens: Wheel, W-E-A-L, for good results; Woe for bad results; Wheel and Woe for both good and bad results; or just no omen for basically an indifferent result.
Okay. So, as you're sat there concentrating on this, and the bones are before you, blocking out the sound of Auric shitting nearby, you kind of almost like transcend the material plane for a moment, and you feel this kind of warm energy and the sound of kind of almost time itself, that like the granules of sand in an hourglass. But you also feel this cold wind coming in from the right hand side at the same time, and they kind of combine and swirl around you, and the grains of sand stop to where there is a half full hourglass before you, meaning that there is both good and bad results that could come from you going to the city.
Nice. Very well done, Nathan. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's good. Okay.
Thank you.
I return to the group and say, I have had a vision, an omen of what may await for us in Oakdale. I would suggest extreme caution at every step.
Okay. I mean, someone might have to tell me when to shut up then.
Do that.
Go on, sorry.
Well, if you guys want, I could go up on ahead there, one knows that with you guys, so, I could let you know what lies ahead there.
Probably not a bad shout. You could tell us if there's any guards around. Tell us if we've got a clear run to a inn or something to drop ourselves off and kind of make a base, as it were.
Well, I don't mean to be a bit blunt, but why don't we just get the fuck out of here altogether, get a few supplies, and just leave, and go somewhere where the Lancers or whoever's fucking chases us this week, and just get out of here. I mean, I was on my way to Monalum when I first met some of you, so I was thinking maybe we should go back there after we've done it.
It's not the worst idea you've ever had.
Whereabouts is that there, my friend? Oh, sorry, Sabine. Kind of letting my mouth run away there.
No, I'm getting used to it. It's okay.
Oh, I hope you don't take any offense to it there.
No, none taken. Carry on.
So where is this place that you're looking to go there, guys?
Monalum. Funny you should say that. That is in line.
From when you were originally thinking of going there, you were told that it was through the Gilded Forest, it was through a valley in between the Madeline Peaks, and then you would then turn upwards to the north, and it would be kind of embedded in the side of the Madeline Peaks. Take about, I think it would take a little bit longer or it would take shorter amount of time, about 10 days, to get there from Oakdale, or you could take a stop at Bright Shade and then head up.
And what's there? Sorry, what is that monologue?
Well, that's when we first started. That was where I was heading to hone my craft of being a master blacksmith, and I think I'm being pulled that way as well by whatever is kind of driving me.
Good point of interest for you, actually. As you've been traveling southward, the energy, or that kind of pull that you felt inside of you, has slowly started to split.
Okay.
And there's one that's kind of pulling you a little bit further, kind of northeast, and then there's one that is almost directly east.
Okay, and is that the way to Monolum?
Roughly.
Okay. Is it more the way to Waysan then?
Yeah, well, you would know, I think as part of this, you would know exactly how far it is. So one is around about, one would be pulling you a good amount of distance, probably in the direction of Waysan. And then the other one is a bit closer, but a little, oddly, about 10 days distance northeast.
Strange.
Strange. Strange. Da-ding, da-ding.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just wanted to talk to you guys about it, but I felt like a good time to get it all out in the air, because I feel like I need to do these things before my due date, as it were.
Well, I mean, I'm not against the idea. I've pretty much found out everything I want to know about my past for a little while. So, yeah, Ulrich, if that's what you want to do, then I'm all in.
I mean, it would mean a lot to me if you all came along and did this together.
Are you saying
Thank you, bud.
there's people there you know?
I mean, it's possible. Ever since I came back for the second time, I've had this drive, this pull to go back, or to go there, and I feel like I need to do it, so...
Yes, no, that sounds like a good idea. Let's do that.
So, do we stop over in Oakdale, get some more supplies, and then make the journey?
I mean, it seems like a good idea to me.
Yes. Unless anyone's been to the other place, Bright Shade, if I know where that is on the map, even.
From where you came in, no, you wouldn't.
Okay, fine. Then yes, let's ride.
Wait, we going now, or should we stock up first?
Oakdale. We'll stock up at Oakdale. We're only 30 minutes away.
All right.
Cool. So you all start making your way into Oakdale, and
oh yeah, I want to. As we get a little bit closer, I want to basically cast disguise self on Ulrich through the hat. He can't do it, so I'm going to do it for him.
Sure thing. What are you making him look like?
I say, I'm just going to readjust the hat, the brim there. Ulrich, if you give me 2 seconds, and I turn it a little bit, and I just make him look like. Again, can't be bothered to we're on the back foot here a little bit, so very unassuming. Just again, an everyman. Yeah. But who looks quite rough, because Ulrich still has a rough voice.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that you're doing this? Am I aware that I'm being...
After I see it work, yeah.
You're being hat-splained to.
So what I'm about to do is I'm going to cast a spell on you, right? And there are ways to affect the environment there.
or it gets a notepad out and it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, change my face, yeah, cool, yeah.
Actually, yeah, as he's doing that, Gideon kind of sees and scribbles in his notepad.
Always scribbling away.
He's got a no shit, mate.
You realise the notepad that Ulrich was writing on has just illegible shapes because he can't read or write, so it's just scrolls.
It's just drawings of dinosaurs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with you transformed, a foot shorter or just the same height?
Like, how tall is he?
7'2".
Fucking hell, man.
Go a foot taller, just for fun.
I'm just your average, everyday 8 foot tall human male.
Oh dear.
No, let's go 6'5".
Okay.
Lanky, really like a beanpole.
Like a beanpole.
Okay, so that is in
As
place.
we're going into town, is Quinn changing from tiefling, or is he?
My hat is my way to change, so hood up and.
Sabine thinks about disguising self on just herself, but she also hoods up and says, "We're doing this then." To Quinn.
Yes. I hope we'll be fine. As previously mentioned, let's just keep a lower profile than last time.
Oh, I'm sure I'll be able to. And she looks at Lanky Beanpole and then looks back at you, and then just keeps walking.
Can I sense the judgment coming from my companions?
I mean, you can't really tell. You're up at the front, mate. You're leading the way.
Cool. Just pass it along.
So as you're entering Oakdale, for Sabine and Ulrich, it's weird. This is kind of where, for the most part, your collective journey and how you kind of started to start knowing each other really started, and it's a bit kind of Oakdale. We killed rats here.
We killed rats here.
We leveled up, baby.
Yeah. For Quinn and Gideon, you're kind of met with a fairly simple-looking town. You can see that as you're coming in on the far left-hand side, there is like a kind of farming area, kind of windmill, a few kind of barns. The town itself maybe comprises of about 15, 20 buildings. It's a pretty small place. There does appear to be like a slight housing area just in between the farming area and the main kind of bulk of the town. Very few two-story buildings, but what is very apparent is that on the right-hand side, just towards the outskirts of the town, there is various tents. There are horses. There are various crates. There appears to be some sort of kind of collection of armaments, and there does appear to be quite a few lancers that are prepping, though for the most part there appears to be a lot of traffic going to the west out towards a kind of building that you can see just on the horizon line, because it's pretty much like coastal line, and then you just see this one structure. The town itself still seems relatively quiet, but there is that kind of large presence just off to the side.
Okay, yeah, heads down, hoods up, just walking with purpose into town.
Cool.
Yeah, trying to be nonchalant.
Sabine fires up disguise self. She's
Oh,
not fucking around.
before you she just fires off.
No, she seeing this build-up of forces and knowing that, basically everyone that was on the run actively, because I don't think Quinn was, like, they know him, but they're not. Yeah, she just fires out, just like, I'm not fucking about.
Yeah.
And this is the one that's legacy of Mal Bullage, so I don't think it needs any.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, so what is it that you're looking for? You're kind of making your way into town, and there's the main road that kind of goes in and then kind of splits out a little bit into the kind of almost like circle end of the town. Is there anything you're looking for in particular?
From last time we were here, what do we...
So from last time, you do know there's the inn, there's the farms, there's like a grocery store, There was the thrift shop, and there was a pseudo armor's store, although it was more of like a local handyman that just kind of makes odds and ends on his downtime sort of thing. That's about it. There really isn't too much here.
We'll do the rounds on all of them, right? Just pick up anything we deem that we need.
Mate, we don't have any money though. Fuck.
I
Spin's got a bit.
can assist.
Oh. No, Spin hasn't got anything. Go on, carry on.
No, Quinn hasn't got anything. Sorry, go on. No, go on, you first. I mean.
Am I about to get an allowance from my dad? Is that what
If you're a good boy and don't kill any lancers, we're going to give you some money.
You're going to get 10 gold today.
Fantastic, I love it.
I get out the money chest discreetly. To Sabine and Ulrich more, I'll try and get old Sigmund, whatever his name is. Sorry,
Gideon.
Gideon. Thank
Gideon.
you.
Sigmund. It's Freud over here, yeah.
and see if he like. I don't want him to see how much dollar we have, but I basically show them. Well, here's the money we got from where we got the book, and we had that terrible fight with the rather large flying wyvern, and well, there's more for us now.
Oh.
Oh,
How much gold are we talking, eh?
It's about 3,000 gold.
Jesus fuck. Really?
Oh,
Wow.
1,000 each, yeah?
Yes. Well, let's. I'll just keep a hold of this for the time being, and we can dip into it as we need to. Is
That's a really good idea.
Is Gideon making notes? Let me assume.
He is not.
All right, fine. You win this round.
So, we should go to a shop and get potions, food, and then some armor for people who have lost armor. That should be our three main things we get. Potions mostly because we always forget to get potions and then we die.
And also, you don't have a healer anymore.
And we don't have a healer anymore.
Shit, yeah.
Oh.
Also, is it worth us talking about mounts? Or is that not something that we know would be in this place?
Right.
You'd have to look around.
Okay, cool. It could be, I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but it might save us a bit of time on travel.
Yes. No.
We just need to remember to keep getting them because we keep leaving horses everywhere.
Trailer horses left over the country.
There's a donkey somewhere. Yeah.
Like it wouldn't take an officer long to find us like a lancer because it's like, where are all these fucking horses coming from? Just follow the horse trail.
We're gonna get to the big bad evil guy, and he's gonna be like, "Here are the 50 horses that are now on my side. Charge,
stampede."
Oh, that'd be hilarious. Yeah. Cool.
Remember me from Luxem?
Remember me?
Just
Nice.
Crossbow ammo as well, just on top of that list. Cool.
Okay, so heading for which thing first?
The nearest.
Yeah.
Nearest? Okay, so from where you are, that would actually be the pseudo like thrift store, Bod's Odds and Ends.
Bod's Odds and
Single story building, stone walled, reinforced wooden door, and as you kind of enter, there's like a tiled like mosaic floor, which is oddly fancy, though it's done in a pretty shoddy way.
It's kind of like a little floor, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And behind the counter, you see the for Sabine and Ulrich, you see the couple that own the place, Bob and Grace Boffin, which is just a halfling couple, very kind of curmudgeon-y. But as you enter, you do notice that their there does appear to be quite a few empty shelves. But yeah.
Sabine just... Her disguise self is just basically Sabine, but without the red and the horns, so she's again not making much effort here. Just goes up to the... Well, yeah, she tries. She tries. Just goes up to the counter and just... hello. Yeah, good day to you. Is you normally this empty in here? Looks pretty...
Don't even get me started. Those bastard lancers, they're pretty much clearing us out of everything. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's good business in it, but at the same time, the discount they expect, war times, I tell you, it's going to ruin us all.
I hope you didn't give them any discount.
I mean, I had to, Order of the King.
Right, that kind of racket are they playing on you, eh?
Well, every small business does their part. We're one step closer to victory over the bastards across the way. Well, anyway, what can I do for you?
What have you got left?
Well, let me have a look around. Grace, I need your help for a second. Could you scooch around out the back area? Do you have what kind of... I mean, you don't look fancy. You don't look like you've got a lot of money. But what are you willing to put down? We might be able to find the odd hidden gem.
Well, we're looking for mostly just supplies. We're not staying long. So, nothing too pricey, I guess.
Okay, dokie. Well, let me see. And after kind of rummaging around, and you can just hear like, fuck! After a while, he kind of like comes back with a kind of rag that he puts down on the counter itself and just starts putting a couple of bits out. Well, they pretty much cleared me out of most of my useful stock. And in front of him, there is a kind of a small kind of brown bag, satchel sort of thing with a strap on it with kind of like a red kind of signet on it. There is a cloak of some kind. There's a big old jug. There are a couple of stones that are probably about like a smoothed over pebble. And then there is another kind of brown satchel that this is more of like a leather and actually has like a clasp on it. Right. This is pretty much everything that's interesting anyway. We've got a few, got a couple of boots, nice boots, well worked over. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff in here that I don't actually catalogue, so I don't really know where a lot of it comes from. Anyway, what can I do for you?
Well, what are these prices kind of ranging from? Just give me kind of bookends so I know what we're working with.
I mean, you're looking at... Let's have a look. Anywhere from 50 gold all the way up to probably about, I don't know, about 500.
Okay, that's pretty cool. These bags and these cloaks, what do they do exactly? They're not just pretty, I guess.
Well... They're not just pretty. For example, and he kind of hops down from behind the counter, pulls the cloak off, comes round to the other side to you, and he's probably up to about your midsection. Have you ever wondered what it would look like if you looked super cool? Have you ever wanted people to look at you and be like, wow, that guy, he's really got some chutzpah about him?
Some chutzpah?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, this cloak, as he kind of brings it around him, can do just that. And he just kind of flicks it out behind him and like, what did that do for you?
I don't know. What did it do for me?
Well, I mean, it's magical. You have to attune to it, so it's not working right now. But on command, you can make it billow behind you.
You know what? I know someone who would be interested. Is Quinn in the room? Or is it
I'm assuming that you all came in together.
Yeah, we're all. I'm the money man, so yeah.
Got a bag of cash.
I just look at you and just be like,
How much for the cloak?
250 gold pieces, and that is a steal.
That's pretty good.
So can I just get it straight? What does the cloak do exactly?
Exactly as I said. When you want it to, it will billow out behind you like there's a strong wind. Perfect for an entrance into a room, might I say. Really gets the crowd going.
I mean, I could do that without a fancy cloak. I just let out a loud fart and it just wafts behind me.
Yes, but when you do that, it instantly clears the room. But this, there's an air of mysticism about it.
I mean, it sounds a bit shit to me, but whatever.
Might be Quinn's bag, so you know.
Fuck you, Nathan. Because I know what it is.
Yeah, me too.
I open the chest. I get the little coffer out. Put it on the table. Open it up.
Yeah.
And say, 200 gold cash now, and you'll have a deal.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. Also, I would like just some. I know the cloak would. This will actually do my other job too, so don't worry about it. Forget that. Persuasion. 8.
8. As I said earlier, these are trying times for a startup business such as my own, and I need all the money that I can get. And as I said, 250 is a bargain for what you are getting. Permanent, charismatic entryways. I mean, what more could you ask for?
Chronal shift! No. Fine. Deal.
Lovely stuff. And he just starts sweeping all the coins over to himself. You will not regret this purchase, my friend. I can... Oh my god. Have you gotten more handsome? I think you have.
I must say that you're a fine salesman.
Thank you. It's around 20 years in the job. It does things for you.
Have you got any potions, though? Anything actually useful?
I am unfortunately fresh out of potions. The Lancers have kind of collected all of my wares for that. However, if you are so inclined, and he kind of gets back behind the counter, hoofs himself back up, and goes over to the bag, the leather bag, kind of pops the clasp on it and pulls it over, and you can see that there's a collection of vials inside. This right here, if you are so inclined, if you have the know-how, you can actually make your own potions. Now, the validity of them is entirely based on your skill, but could be done.
That's probably not something that I should dabble in personally. Maybe my boy Quinn over here might want to do that more than me, but alchemy and all that nonsense is a bit over my head, gotta say. I like bashing things in and farming. I mean, yeah, I'm a farmer.
I'm sure you are with those lean arms of yours.
What do you mean? I've got absolutely hit. And he looks at himself and he's like, oh.
Wouldn't want you to go into a cornfield. We might lose you.
Would I recognise that? Actually, I'm going to look, but I'll have disadvantage on the roll because I'm too busy looking fucking epic. So I look at that.
And you do. It's like almost like a kind of midnight black cloak, but on the inside is this deep navy blue with kind of like slight sparkles to it. It's hot, and it's got a little bit of a collar, not too much. It's a modest collar.
Yeah, that's good.
If you have a quick look at the item that they're referring to, it is just an alchemist's or an alchemical kit.
Okay.
So you could do exactly what he says, make a potion of some sort, but again, it will vary from when you use it and what ingredients you use.
Yeah, sure. I just relay to the group that basically, no, I don't think any of us have any expertise in this field of, I don't know whether Gideon, do you want to take any interest in this? But it's certainly not too experimental for my taste.
All know this kind of thing here. Not my wheelhouse, you know. I'm more of a, blade and a big old thing to swing.
Oh, quite. No, I don't care for these vials. And the coat comes out.
Sabine just asks the one she's been speaking to, what if someone's trying to keep a low profile? Anything, good for that you have here?
I would suggest a couple of things. Not drawing attention to yourself, avoiding big displays. I mean, actually, that cape would actually not help keep a low profile. I'm not going to lie to you. But all purchases are final. But yes, no, I mean, I don't quite know why you would need to keep a low profile, but yes, I shan't ask any questions.
When you're on the road and there's all sorts of nasties out there, right? You just want to make sure that you can pass by without them,
Yes, I suppose you would, and so what I would say is maybe give that thing a wide berth, not be on the road too long. I personally quite like being here, feet up, nice fireplace, good stiff brandy. It's lovely.
Right. Okay. Thank you for the advice. It's really appreciated.
Anytime. So, anything else that takes your fancy? Right. Let's remove the kit over here. We've still got some other good little items for you. Got a lot of gold.
You got any rings?
I mean, I've got plenty of rings, and he kind of reaches underneath the counter and pulls out a box. And he just opens it up, and there's about a row of 2 sets of 4, and all on these kind of blue velvet cushions. I've got a rather choice thumb ring, if that's what you're after. There's a couple of pinky rings in here as well. We don't do toe rings though. That shit's disgusting. What are you after?
I'm after a ring with a shield signet on the embossed on it, something like that. You got anything like that?
I don't have a shield, but I do have this one that has a stag's head on it. I don't know where I got it from. I believe it's some sort of club ring, but you could try that.
How much?
For this old thing, I'd say 10 gold. It's very well crafted. I think it's solid gold.
Do you know if it does anything?
Makes your hand look better.
He turns to Quinn and is like, Dad, can I have money for a ring?
What's something as frivolous as a ring?
As your cloak floats behind you.
Yeah, it's got a stag on it. I like stags. Do you like dags?
Fine. As long as you do your homework. I can't help but notice, Ulysses, your voice has got a bit rough.
Yeah, I've got a frog in my throat. It'll pass, and I'll be back to speaking normally.
Oh, I have just the thing for that knocking around here. It's like this. It's kind of like a stone that's covered in like a honey and salt glaze. You just suck on it for a bit. It really sorts you out.
No, I'm all right. I'll be fine. I don't need a lemsip.
Lemsip. That's a good name for that, actually. Well, anything else for you? You know, the stones, the jug, the other bag.
What does the bag do? Just a bag.
And he kind of goes over to it, opens it up, and it just appears to have like a series of like bandages and other such things in there. Like, I'm pretty sure this is just a nice little kind of medic kit. Should help you get out of
How
trouble.
much are you willing to part with that there for?
Oh, for this, that would be, as he looks it up.
It's like 20 copper. Yeah.
No.
No.
That would be 15 gold pieces.
Well,
You can't put a price on first aid.
At this point, Gideon kind of turns to the group and he's like, "Oh, geez, listen, fellas, I'd love to help you out and purchase that there, but 15 gold's all I got on me, so maybe it's, you guys could return the favor and the equipment I gave you and kind of help me out, afford that thing. Could come in handy
know what?
in the heat of battle."
Furry guy, you know what? You're sold. Okay. And yeah, Sabine's just going to give the 15.
Cool. Perfect.
But I would say this: I'm not going to be the one looking after it because I've got no idea what I'm doing with it, and just looks to you.
Oh, no,
three.
much obliged there.
Oh, you.
So who's
My-
good at patching people up there?
None of this.
Okay then. And yeah, he just kind of holds onto it for now.
Right, well, we've still got 2 items on the table, and then you've pretty much cleared me out of all the interesting stuff. Mind you, Mr. Ulysses over there, he's got that choice ring. It's very nice. Yes. It seems to be struggling to go all the way over your finger for someone with such live hands. It's weird.
I don't know why. I must need to butter it up first, I think.
He's suffering from many ailments. It might surprise you. He actually usually pronounces the word about a bit like a boot, but that's the time of the year, I think.
Try. So sorry.
Well, all sorts of ailments in the world. What I'm not here to judge.
Yeah, it's a boot time. Someone tried to help me out with it.
Yes.
Good God.
You can see now the
Seamless.
what is a bag and a jug? Is that what's left? Sorry.
No. So you've the alchemist kit has been removed. They've just purchased the healer's kit,
Okay.
and then there is a couple of stones and a jug.
Stones and a jug. I gesture to the guys. I say, are we likely to spend some time here, or are we going to be going immediately?
Time of day is it?
You set out fairly early, so I'd say it's only probably like 11 o'clock.
And the next stop was how far away?
Well, I mean, if you're heading to Moniloon, it's like 10 days.
But there was a town halfway, wasn't there?
Yeah, that would be probably about 5 days travel.
Is that if we go on foot or
Yeah, that's if you go on foot.
on horseback, if we manage to find any?
Horseback would probably cut your travel time in half, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why once we've got everything we need from this town, we just get going, really.
I mean, I think it'd be wise. Am I muted? No. I think it'd be wise for us to get out of here as soon as possible before they discover who I am, and then try and shot my head
We're
off.
not saying this in earshot of the. We've left the shop, right?
he's just like inquisitively like looking at all of you.
I just say, well, Ulysses, I don't think you need to be worried if they find out you're an excellent guitar player. That is nothing to be ashamed of. Anyways,
You're so funny. You'll make such the funniest random jokes. Oh my god.
I know, I'm a comedian. What can I say? I just want the people to laugh. Am I right?
We're just trying to get out of town,
I'll just take a look at them, and I won't cast Identify. I don't want to spaff the spell slots. Can I just get a feel for these items? Do I recognise them? Would I know of them?
Yeah, sure. Make an Arcana check.
That's what I want to hear. 13 with a plus 10.
Oof. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the most that you can tell is they both seem magical in some essence, though you don't quite recognize what they are. That's as much as you can tell from that roll.
Okay, I say to the guy, what is the expenditure of these two, the cost of these two items?
Well, together, let me just have a quick
obviously
look.
Factoring in the other business we've just given you, of course.
Oh, of course. I'm not here to, rob you of money. Jesus.
I'm not trying to rob you.
For both of those items, you're probably looking at anything in the realm of 700 gold pieces.
Oh, okay. Good day then, sir. I say to the group, nope. You're willing to part with almost all of your money. Let us.
I mean, I could do you a discount on them individually if you'd like. No?
I'm not going to spend the spell slot casting Identify. So, I have no strong feelings either way, gentlemen. It is your money to spend as much as it is mine.
I feel like we get out of here and go somewhere else.
Yeah,
That
I
is-
feel like we should arm up.
Absolutely fine. Understand. I will just take these incredibly precious stones and this fantastical, many-powered jug and place them away under the counter.
Sure thing, mate. Sure thing.
Hey, that's fine. You enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for the gold. Hopefully someone else picks up these precious items.
I certainly hope so.
You know what I said about you being a good salesman?
I do remember that.
I
It
take
happened.
it back.
I mean, that's fine. Be careful out there. The strong gust of wind could cut right through you.
Ulrich doesn't understand that he's tiny. He's like, yeah, fuck off, that's stupid.
Let's leave.
Cool. So you exit the shop. There's a few people that are out and about at this time of the day now. Still relatively quiet. There's like maybe about 20-25 people that you can actually see wandering the streets currently. Next up, the next place you would be heading to would be a small kind of haphazardly put together kind of smith. Like, not an actual building itself. It just appears to be kind of a few wooden beams with like a roof over the top of it. Nothing too fancy at all. It mainly consists of just the actual smithing, the kind of anvil, that sort of thing. And there's just someone that is kind of working away. Looks like he's working on like horseshoes. Yeah.
Just go up to him and just hi, how are you?
Hi, you're right there. What can I do for her?
Yeah, I just wondered what you've got on offer with this setup you have. What is it you're selling?
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I really don't have a lot in at the moment. Most of my time's being spent for those bastards over there. No manners, I really tell you. But
Yeah, I've really heard they're taking the towns, well, everything basically. How nice of them.
yeah, well, times of war, they kind of need the extra resources. I get that, but there's a way to ask for things, and they certainly aren't asking for it.
I mean, do you have any weapons, any arms, any things like that here?
Oh, I've got a couple of bits, but nothing extravagant. I've got a couple of long swords that are just knocking about. I think I've got an old bastard sword knocking around somewhere, and I've got some old leftover pieces of like hide, but that's about it. There really isn't too much here. Sorry.
No crossbow bolts or anything like that?
Crossbow bolts. I mean, you could try your luck and see if one of the lancers are willing to part with some. But that's about it, really.
No, I'm good. Thank you for that, guys. Has anybody else got anything they're looking for?
No.
No, I got everything that I need to prepare for battle.
No. Yeah, it doesn't get anything I need from there.
Well, thank you for your time. What was your name?
Oh, the name's Mac.
Mac. Nice to meet you, Mac. Thank you for your time. Hopefully this war's over soon, right?
I don't think it's going to be over anytime soon.
Probably not. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye then.
Oh, have you got any horses?
Oh,
No, I'm a smith. I don't sell horses.
Just checking. Nice to be so rude. Whoa.
I mean, I know, but at the same time, use your eyes, read the room.
Hi, I'm pretty dumb. Sorry.
Sure.
on to the next one.
Who's next?
So the only other establishments of note is the farms. So Hithis Farms. There's a grocery store, and then there is an inn. That is pretty much it.
Should we try the farm, see if they've got any horses they're willing to sell? Doesn't
Yeah.
have to be anything special, just something to get us from A to B a little bit quicker.
I was really hoping to find some potions to heal us up, but not for find any of those in a grocery store, do you?
No. But hopefully the road from here to Line.
Money Loom.
No, the one before that.
Oh,
What? Bright Shade.
That's it. Hopefully the road from here to Brightshade isn't as treacherous as some of the roads we've been on recently.
in my head I heard it was in Bright Star, and I was like, oh, we should probably sell our old electronics and get some money
Yes.
back.
So we're using and recycling.
Uh,
Yeah, so should we go to the farm and see if they've got any horses?
Yeah.
Or should we do the grocery store first, actually? That makes more sense, I suppose so.
I could use a pie, like always.
Cool. So
As we're walking
Mhm.
between the shops, I want to grab Gideon's ear,
sure.
not physically, and just say, as we seem to have some time together now, a bit further away from the city, and you didn't kill us in our sleep, so you have that going for you. What's your story? How come you needed a get out of jail free card?
Well, it's a little bit complicated. You see, I've been doing a little bit of work there for guard, looking up mines there. May have, found out a little bit too much about the stuff they were extracting from the old mines there, and being my type, being a wear-touch, they don't really like you having around. So when it came to the call to arms for all the for everyone that was combat ready, I wasn't seen as combat ready. I don't think they knew my background, which was by design. They let me go as a tradie. Kind of found myself looking for a way out, and so your friend there get publicly executed. So I didn't want that happening to myself neither. So just kind of needed to find a discreet way out of the city in case they realized, this humble little tradesman here might actually know a little bit more than he's letting on.
A prudent course of action. So, are you supposed to be joining us? Clearly you've heard our next steps.
Well, as long as you guys don't mind having someone join you there, I'm just looking a way to get back up to the Deep Helm. But, I got the exploring bug that bit me. So any chance I get to travel now, I take it. And I've kind of seen you guys operate. You kind of need someone like me to help you out in the heat of battle there. So I thought
They may need someone like you. I can look after myself, thank you kindly.
Oh, so would you say that you don't really go up by yourself there, do you?
What was that, Si? Sorry, I didn't catch all that.
He's just asking if you prefer to fight by yourself in battle alongside.
I seek boons to my combat prowess when it's necessary and when it aligns with my desires, and at the moment it seems all far. It's catching. It seems all four of our desires are aligned. So, yes, I'm actually, to be frank with you, rather eager to see what makes you so masterful. But let's hope that doesn't come too soon.
Oh, well, someone who looks like you kind of you stick by someone who looks like me in battle. So, I've always got a little bit of room by my side if it gets a little bit hot for you there, fella.
We shall see who it gets too hot for first. And I turn around with my cape, whipping the face of my cape.
Oh, you kind of got me with your cape there, bud.
And then realise that I'm walking in the wrong direction. I have to do a big U-turn to bring myself back on with everybody else before we get to the grocers. Sorry.
That's hot.
Nice.
So you start heading out the left-hand side of the village, and as you're making your way through, you kind of breach through the kind of the more kind of commercial shops and storefronts, and you start heading into the more kind of residential area that then kind of sprawls out a little and kind of backs onto the farms. For Sabine and Ulrich, as you're making your way through this area, you can't help but remember that there was a cleric that had you had previously helped, then accosted, that lived near here. And as you kind of start remembering this, you look off to the kind of your left-hand side, and kind of tucked away behind like a couple of buildings, you can see that there is her house, which is boarded up for the most part.
Boarded up.
Mm-hmm.
Ulrich, having seen this, would like to wander over, kind of just straight away and be like, "Oh, that's interesting. Wonder what happened there." Because obviously he was very suspicious of it initially. So
Sabine's going to tail Ulrich a little bit further back, but seeing him heading there,
cool.
Just keep an eye on it.
So Quinn and Gideon, as you're kind of trailing behind these two, they suddenly veer off away from the farms and head off towards the left-hand side, seemingly beelining for something. Sabine and Ulrich, as you approach, it's still the same old kind of very modest home, one story, fairly quaint. But yeah, the windows boarded over, the door itself is shut. There is a little bit of kind of discoloration around it a little bit, but yeah, looks very unkempt.
Can we see anybody nearby, like also in the area, that might have eyes on us or see us?
There's a couple of people that are look like they're heading to work, or just kind of there's a few people kind of a little bit further away, about 40-50 feet away, that appear to be like hanging out clothes, but that's about it. Nobody seems to be paying you any mind.
Or just kind of look through. So the windows are all boarded up as well, then, yeah?
Yeah, they look like they've got 3 kind of planks of wood on there. There's like gaps that you could probably try and look through.
Can I look through the gaps, see what I can see?
Sure, make a perception check.
Can Sabine help him?
Yeah, sure. You can either both roll or one roll with advantage.
14. Oh, sorry, what was that?
You've got advantage if you want it.
Okay, we'll see if I get more. Oh, that's a natural 20.
Oh! So it takes a second for your eyes to adjust, but there doesn't appear to be too much light in there. There's a thank you for
There it is,
demonstrating
there it is.
the natural 20. But as you peer in, there's a little bit of light kind of leaking through the windows, and for the most part, other than a few bits of furniture, it appears to be completely empty. There is like that same chamber, so it's like the front room that then leads into that like kind of dining room area. That appears to be like slightly askew, but other than that, there doesn't appear to be anybody in there.
I turn to Sabine and say, looks like she's gone. Left or whatever. It doesn't look like she's been forced out. It looks all like it's just been cleared out in there, but
She did have a pretty shitty time living here. She did lose her son, so maybe she just...
maybe she decided to just up and go. Yeah.
Maybe
Poor
we
thing.
shouldn't read anything else into it right now.
No, it's probably fine. I didn't see any demonic symbols on there, so I think we're all right.
And she was a cleric, right? You didn't see any healing stuff in
Oh.
there?
No, but that would be good if we could find some old potions in there, wouldn't it?
I don't know whether it's worth it.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably not.
We'll mention it to the other guys when we go to the farm and see what they think. On the way back, maybe we could, but...
Well, at this point, the other two would be like kind of slowly catching up with you.
All right.
We relay that, and that there might be stuff in there, but we're not sure, and it might be risky. See what you think. Quinn.
In this person's house, abandoned house.
Yeah, well, they were a cleric, so it's an absolute like shot in the dark. That maybe there might be some stuff left over, but probably not.
It's unclear.
Oh, is it it's abandoned? Is it? Safe?
It looks like it's abandoned. Just had a quick look inside.
Perhaps my thoughts would be basis on the omen that we received before coming here. Maybe Sabine, you investigate sneakily, just in case anyone sees you entering or
Okay.
leaving.
Yeah, sounds good. Do you guys want to run? Just keep an eye out for a second.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, I'll be happy to help through there.
All right, yeah, Sabine's gonna go in.
Cool.
I've got
sure.
eyes like a hawk, so.
So the door is locked.
Try and.
With what?
Ah,
Mother trucker.
Okay.
Oh, hey there, maybe this can help you out there. And he actually gives her a crowbar.
Nice.
Cool.
So.
Can she try and discreetly jimmy something off so she can get in?
Make a strength check for me.
Okay. That is actually a natural 20.
Dude.
So,
It's one of my yeet dies.
as you pop it in and kind of get it in between the like, there's a slight crack between the door and the door frame. You don't quite realize your own strength, and as you like smack the crowbar, it like breaks it open and actually takes a bit of the door frame away with it. But
Still
it's open.
discreetly though, right?
There's not a lot that's discreet about busting open a door with a crowbar.
Do we notice anybody spotting that?
There's nobody around, really, so nobody really pays any attention. But if there was someone inside, they would certainly hear that. But you give it a few seconds or so, and there doesn't appear to be a reaction from anybody inside.
Sabine just looks at her arms, passes the crowbar back to Gideon, and then would like to proceed into the property very cautiously, i.e. checking for any traps, and then investigating.
Okay, well, make an investigation check for me.
investigation. That is a grand total of 21.
21. As you slowly make your way in, it's the similar setting as what you had previously seen before. There is like a stagnant air. There's like a bit of dust everywhere as well, so it does appear to be untouched for a while. As you make your way into where the kind of dining room was, you notice that the table is a bit askew. There is some faint marks, some faint kind of dried blood on there, but that was where her son was placed, so could have just leaked through. Yeah, as you're taking in your surroundings, you do notice that there are, to the right hand side of the dining room table, against the wall, is a bookcase, but on the floor there appears to be like scuff marks.
Secret room.
Sabine would like to investigate this, or push closer to it and see if there's any movement or anything like that.
So kind of looking around the door, kind of like trying to like reach around it, you do find that there's a little bit of a gap, and you kind of start to kind of tug on it a little bit, and it gives a little, and you kind of pull it even harder, and it starts to grind across the floor, making this kind of screeching noise, like, and it you slowly get it open, and there is a room.
Oh, can I see into it? Is it like dark or?
It is
I've got
pretty
dark vision. So.
It's pretty much pitch black in there, so it's dim light for you. But yeah.
Sabine just goes back to the door and goes to Quinn. Do you want to come and give me a hand? It looks pretty okay in here, but I can't really see what I'm doing, and I don't know. You might be able to sense anything useful, maybe.
Okay, perhaps we should all enter in. Let's stick together in that case.
Well, maybe one of us should keep a lookout, perhaps.
Yes, solid idea.
I could do that.
So beanpole is staying outside.
Okay.
Looking very unassuming.
I don't like being a beanpole.
Yeah, I'll head in.
Cool. So all three, the three of you enter. You kind of lean against the door, kind of one hand behind your back to kind of keep it closed, because otherwise it would just stay ajar. And just kind of like looking up at the sky.
Taking in the sights.
Taking in the sights, smelling that fresh air, not worrying about someone stabbing you.
It's a good time.
Yeah. For the rest of you, so Sabine kind of leads you through this very simple home, into this kind of dining room area where there is a bookcase that's slightly kind of brought forwards and leads into a back room of sorts.
Can we cast can anyone cast light or anything to help us illuminate the space?
Are there any torches nearby? Can I? Go on.
Make a perception check.
Okay.
I have a torch which I could light, which I probably would light.
Yeah.
So as you're like looking around, like, damn, we could use a light source. There's just like a torch that appears in between you and Sabine.
Excellent.
You're coming in really useful, and I like that.
Oh, I like to be useful, so that's worked out for today.
I think I can get used to you, maybe. What do we see now?
So who's leading the way?
I guess I will.
Yeah.
So Gideon, as you enter into this room, it's again fairly plain, bit small. There is a long table against the kind of left-hand wall, and then there seems to be like a stool of sorts just in front of it, and that's pretty much it. There's another kind of small bedside table in the corner directly opposite you, and there's nothing else in here. There is a window, but that is completely boarded up, and no light is coming in. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess investigating in here again. There's no other like items or anything. It's literally just a boarded up house.
Make another investigation check.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, so I'm guessing here, guys, this isn't really my area of expertise. It's just like an empty room to me. You need me to help you out while you're around?
Yeah, why not?
Yes. Point that I want to backseat drive him, shining the torch like a dad, like whose son's helping with the car. So I'm like trying to help you shine it. Oh, if you move it that way, there'll be less shadow on that area. And
you betcha.
Is that advantage then on the investigation, or
is someone helping you?
I think
Well, I'm
yes.
offering the
Gideon.
assistance, directly
Cool.
behind
Yeah,
me.
so either Sabine rolls with advantage, or you roll separately.
I'll roll with advantage.
By all means, roll with advantage.
So we've done one roll, which was 12. So,
Okay.
one's a little bit better at 14, but still.
With that, you kind of cast your eyes around with the help of the torch, and you do see that on the table there are various kind of darkened, stained areas. There appears to be various kind of dried plants of some sort. There's like a mortar and pestle, and there's like a kind of dark metal medallion of some sort.
A dark metal medallion.
Mm-hmm.
Bean's gonna go for that.
Cool. Make a religion check for me.
Can I? Are any of these like reagents for material spellcasting? Mats.
Make an Arcana check.
5 from me on religion.
Not sure what it is.
24.
Pocket
24. Kind of looking over these different materials, there's a lot here that is used for various kind of raising the dead. A lot of necromantic magic.
Fucking do it!
Yeah.
Okay, so Sabine, did you do that sneakily, or have I seen you take it?
Take the medallion. No, she's just like still looking at it, just trying to like.
Okay.
Is it pretty?
It's not pretty. No, it's pretty. It's like I say, it's a fairly darkened metal. There's no glamour to it, I suppose would be the term.
Okay, so she's just looking at it, kind of like how weighty is it? Could you clobber someone with it, maybe? But she's not. No.
It's
No.
clobbering time.
It's more like a medallion of some sorts. It's not super heavy.
Okay, so just looking at it, it's like.
You might wish to be careful with that. I can see traces of potentially necromantic spells have been cast in this area. Not my particular school of magic, but something awry might have happened here. I don't know if you are familiar with the former owners.
Yeah, no, we were. We're pretty sure she was trying to bring her son back from the dead. I probably should have mentioned that before I brought you in here. Sorry. Didn't really cross my mind.
Well,
Slide that one over there. There you go.
putting two and two together, I would assume that yes, your presumption looks to be correct.
I'll tell Ulrich he'll be thrilled to know that he was right for
Quinn.
once about something.
Quinn, make a religion check as well. Now that you've got eyes on it.
Oh shit, yeah. 18.
18. Kind of once the light catches it in a certain way, you do see that there are various dragon heads that seem to be curling inwards onto themselves, and it appears to be a symbol of Tiamat.
Okay, who I would presumably know is a little bit about her potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, that medallion would appear to be would feature the motif of Tiamat, the queen of all dragonkind, the Queen of Dragons.
Well, seeing as we fought the dragon, I think it might look quite nice on me. And then she just puts it round her neck, and she's just like... And again, after what you said earlier, that it's not that pretty, she kind of tries it and then goes... and then takes it off again, but just keeps it still.
There's no body, so is Quinn safe to assume that the spell was successful?
You could assume so.
Okay. Gideon, if you want to keep your wits about you, just in case anything were to happen, if you enter some kind of battle stance, I don't know.
Oh, that's kind of one of the things that one is always be ready for battle. As soon as we walked in here, I took a pretty good look around, got quite used to my surroundings there. Make sure to stay close to you. You'd be the first one to be taken in that kind of situation.
Simon, why you gotta make characters and my character's gonna hate me?
No, he's not trying to be offensive. Those are just
but
I mean, that's the worst kind of offensive. People try not to be offensive.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I want to take a look around quickly before we scupper out of there, just in case there's anything that is, magical or is some other kind of iconography that would point us towards, Tiamat or other naughty stuff.
Hey, Quinn, if if you're investigating stuff, do you want me to come with you? So you're not on. You kind of made comment that I might be prepared, so I'm more than willing to back you up in this situation, bud.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave you guys to it because you're having a really good, one-on-one. I'm gonna go tell Ulrich about the previous owner, and Sabine just leaves you two in there.
Sabine, as you're heading towards the front door, you wouldn't have noticed this as you were coming in, but on the door, kind of stapled or kind of stabbed into it with like a scorch mark around it, is a discoloured symbol of Serenray, the Everlight.
She shares that with the other two as she spotted it.
Okay.
I don't know if that means anything to you guys. Does Sabine know what that is? Sorry, Serenray. She probably would.
Make another religion check for me.
13.
I mean, you've heard of her, but more kind of to what you would actually know of. That was the god or goddess that Miss Hummage worshipped when you guys last saw her.
Roger that. Okay. I share that with these two who are in the building as well, in the context of it.
Yeah.
And then continue to walk out and just spill the beans to Ulrich in a really excited manner. Like, oh my god, you were right!
No, really?
Yeah!
That's crazy. Did I see anything happening while I was waiting for everybody?
No, other than like an elderly couple that just seemed to be taking a stroll, kind of see you, kind of eye you a little bit weirdly, but just carry on, don't really pay you any mind. That's about it.
Okay. I fucking knew it that she was trying to bring him back. That's mental. Well, it's not mental, but like...
Yeah, I know.
Maybe I should have just intervened there and then and trust my gut.
Well, bringing people back from the dead and everything isn't all that bad, right?
I mean, it can't be good. I firmly believe that when you're dead, you should be dead.
Spain's looking at him like, does he fucking realize, or like?
Everything in this world has its time, and that time will come at some point. You got to accept it and move on, and that's what makes life life. You got to end it.
Right. Okay. Well, either way, you were right, and it looks like it's pretty messed up in there. So.
Next, I'm just gonna follow my instinct, regardless of what all you shitheads say.
I wouldn't do that, but okay.
So Quinn and Gideon, you're having another quick once over.
Yes, while Sabine was telling us about the other religious iconography, Quinn was just standing with his back to Gideon, just like gritting his teeth. Just yes, you should help us. 2 sets of eyes are better than one.
Cool. So once again, either roll individually or one roll with advantage.
Do you want to roll, Simon? Or...
No, you can roll.
Okay. It's 12 plus investigation.
Yeah.
18 in total.
After giving it a thorough kind of once over, you do find a couple of extra items, more dried blood, but nothing in the way of magical items or scrolls or anything like that. It does look like pretty much everything of value has been taken, but with all the non-essential stuff kind of left behind.
Okay. There, thank you for your assistance. There doesn't appear to be anything left in here. Let us leave quickly. I'm uncomfortable in this den of sin.
Well, yeah, when you put it like that, it kind of give you... Let's go see what your friends are saying.
Yes. We head back outside.
Cool. So
Pretty spooky, right?
So I assume you walk away from the door fairly quickly. As soon as Ulrich kind of lets go of it, it just kind of swings open a little bit and just stays there.
Yeah, we should push off real quick to the farms.
Yeah. Yes, let's go. There's nothing more of interest in there, gentlemen. Let's make haste and yes. Any other dealings with potential undead evil religions, do let me know.
Yeah, I'll try and give you a heads up this time.
Thank
you. Cool. So you make your way over to the farms. There, it doesn't take you long before you find where is he? Joe Chubb, the farmhand that you had rescued from the forest. Who is still doing his job, kind of shitty, kind of rough blonde hair, bit of acne, not too much to him, but it kind of sees you. Hey guys! Oh man, it's been a while.
Yeah, how have you been since we saved you? Just out of
Oh, well, he wouldn't say guys. He would only recognise Sabine because Ulrich is a beanpole.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's probably been over an hour, so Sabine's disguised self is probably anyway.
Yeah,
right.
but still hood up.
Yeah, hood up.
Yeah. I mean, it's all pretty much the same around here. It's been pretty quiet. Just tending the farm, day in, day out.
You should really travel or something.
That sounds like some really honest work you're doing there, bud.
Yeah, I guess it's honest. I might join up though.
Sorry, pardon me.
They're asking for people to sign up for the war. I might do that. Serve your king.
Hey, you get to travel.
Well, it's always at least you get to travel. Yeah.
Yeah, something I suppose.
Always good to have a routine and stick with it. Safer doing the things that you're comfortable with than trying something new, eh?
Yeah. Who are you?
Oh, we picked this one up. Go on, introduce yourself. Why not?
Or not.
Or don't
Muted.
introduce
Oh,
yourself.
muted.
I think you did.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry there. I started saying head and it reached my mouth there. You know how it goes sometimes. But my name is Gideon Dayorn from up in the Deep Helm. And making my way, around here. Kind of got bored with the easy living of a small city. Decided to travel a little bit. So, I see a little bit of you in myself. Probably the best thing I did there, bud, was get off my tuchus and start
Ulrich
rolling.
cuts in again and is like, have you got any fucking horses? We need to get out of here.
I don't me no. But I could speak to Willie.
Willie.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a good name.
He might have
that'd
some
be great.
horses. Yeah. Okay. He kind of goes away back to where this kind of farming kind of area, or allotment, I suppose would be a more accurate term. Goes off to a building, speaks to someone inside, who kind of promptly slaps him across the head, and carries on talking. Goes back inside, and he comes back over. Now, yeah, we could spare a couple of horses. It'd be about 200 gold each. But that's about it, really. We don't have a lot of livestock. Got some cows.
We could ride a cow. That could be interesting.
It'd be pretty slow though.
Are
also-
cows cheaper, young man?
2 seconds. And he goes, runs, speaks to the old man, gets hit again. Door closes, comes back. Yeah, I mean, well, they're more 175 because, we get a lot of milk from them, and then the cheese and the butter. Yeah.
How many horses did you say? Just 2?
Yeah, unfortunately, we kind of need the rest.
What if we went and spoke to Willie? What do you reckon? I mean, actually, no, I don't think.
I mean, unless you want to get slapped across the head.
Oh, he can try.
We could just ride together, 2 by 2.
Sabine, would you be happy to share a ride with myself?
Yeah.
As a quick note, due to Ulrich's size, he would need a horse to himself.
Well, isn't Gideon quite small anyway?
He's still
He'd be
normal
close to
size.
medium size.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Gideon, how fast can you walk?
Sorry, man, but it's kind of non-negotiable.
Looking at Joe Chubb, just Sabine says to him, well, we'll probably take the 2 horses, but do you reckon there's anybody else who would have any horses in town that they might be willing to sell?
Maybe the Lancers? You could maybe ask them for a horse. Suppose they don't really need it. Well, they might do. I don't know. That's about it,
If
really.
it's putting you guys at an end there, then I'm more than happy. You guys are letting me come with you, so I don't want to impose and start laying claim to your horses, buddies.
Ulrich's just like, do you have to be so desperately nice all the time?
Oh, I'm sorry, bud. Is there anything I can do to kind of make you feel better?
Just looking at Quinn, do you reckon we should just buy these 2 horses and then see if we can muster another one from somewhere, or should we just walk?
Yes, yeah. No, we'll get these 2. I think we'll do a deal with this idiot here, and then Gideon
Hey!
can go and procure one from the Lancers, I believe he was alluding to. Is that correct?
Hey, Quinn, young Master Chubb is a lovely person.
Oh, thanks.
I don't know him from Joe, I'm afraid. So, so Gideon, was that what you were alluding to?
What do you mean they're sorry?
How are you going to get a mount?
Oh, like Mr. Chubb said, I'll talk to the Lancers there and see if they've got any going spare.
Precisely. So, fingers crossed he can do that, and then yes, we'll take these two young chub.
Sounds like a really rapper name.
Rapper name, yeah.
Young Chub and Willie. Have I just got that? That's just hit me in the face.
Joe Chubb and Willie Brocken.
Okay.
Wow, Nathan. Wow.
Yeah.
What? This was like from ages ago.
Chub.
There's something on your mind that day.
You've clearly matured over this last year.
Yeah, my Willie was Brocken at the time, so.
No.
Young Chub, can you fetch the Willie for me, please? Bring me the Willie.
So he goes back to the building, gets hit once again, but this time the person comes out with him, and just a very curmudgeon-y old man who's just like, "So, you're the ones that want to buy the horses, eh?
Yes.
Well, cough up the money then."
Well, I figured we could barter.
Why?
Well, we did save young Chubb here. Many.
And he's been a pain ever since.
But a pain that does work on your behalf, right? And saves you having to do as much work.
Yes, and I pay him for it. What's your point?
Well, you'd have to find another young Chubb if this one didn't get returned to you.
And I probably could. It wouldn't be that hard. There's a lot of young boys around here that are looking for work. Good, honest work.
Well, you've got me there. I don't really know what to say, other than, let's trade. No.
Money then the horses.
If it eases it, Quinn, I have a bit of cash as well. So I don't mind. It's just...
What did Chubb say? It was 200 and...
200 for each horse.
For each horse?
How shit are they? Like, do they look
how
shit?
are they?
Well, from where you are, they're kind of like just off the sides of like the building that he's come out of, and they look like serviceable. For the most part, they would probably just be work horses, so they're not like built for speed or anything like that, but they're sturdy.
Well, Sabine, knowing our disposition for abandoning horses, we would be essentially abandoning 400 gold, and I'm not one to throw away my money that readily. So
That's a fair point. We could just walk there.
that would be my stance. I am open to negotiation, of course. However, yes, I try to avoid throwing money down the drain.
So no horses then.
Well, look, if you're gonna give them to us for 50 apiece, then maybe we'll talk.
50 apiece? Chubb! I thought you said these people were here to make a deal, not make a laughing stock out of me.
What would be a reasonable amount we'd be willing to pay for these?
Well, make a persuasion check.
No, okay. Are the horses nearby, and are they attached to anything at all?
Are you going to steal some horses?
I'm just trying to get the lay of the land.
So you're just like on there, like directly next to you is like a set of fences that kind of fence in this like allotment area. Towards the end of them, about 30 feet away from you, is the actual kind of house that he lives in, and then next to that is where the horses are kind of like tied up. There's about 5 of them now.
No, fine. Go 100 gold apiece, Sabine, would be my suggestion. And we'll go from there.
Cool. It was a 14 on persuasion, so don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah. He just kind of like looks at you, spits to the side. No deal. God, you're looking for me to relieve work horses, which then makes me have to do more time to do things. Outrageous. When you learn to make a deal, you ass.
Do you have any asses? On that note,
There's a couple knocking around here.
would they be cheaper?
For you, maybe.
Fire!
75 gold for each ass.
Fucking actually, I spin 360 with my cape billowing and say, no, on second thoughts, Willie and the Chub, I shall not partake of your asses. Good day.
Not into ass play.
Not a millennial.
Oh, Quinn's walking away. He's insulted. He let himself slip there, and he's not happy with it.
Willie then starts walking away and just kind of like backhands Joe's head, and then walks away. And Joe is just kind of left standing like, I'm sorry.
Hey, look, you tried your best. My advice: stop working for this asshole. Go join the military. Enjoy your life. I'm sure you'll travel and not die horrifically on a battlefield. And then she just walks off.
Oh.
My advice, Chub, change your last name because it sounds like a penis.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And Ulrich leaves as well.
Cool. So you start
to the grocers.
Are you heading to the grocery store?
I
mean, will they have anything we need?
Food.
Yeah,
you got
we
like
probably need food and rations and stuff.
Yeah, you got like 5 days worth of food at the moment.
Which would get us to.
Would just get you to Right Shade.
Let's
depending
not
on your
let's
travel.
get some more food.
Cool. So we'll just quickly say how much you looking to spend.
10 gold.
10 gold will get you a lot of food. Like it would be like steaks, whole chickens, lots of hearty vegetables.
5 gold then?
5 gold would be a little bit more reasonable. But yeah.
I know how money works.
And that would be like a good, depending on how you split it up, that would be easily enough to last you until Monilum.
Stunning.
Cool.
We should try and see if there's like a taxi or a travel service if we can't like secure any horses. That might be the best way to go. Then at least we wouldn't be burdened with animals.
So if
Like
there's
a stagecoach.
an Uber, yeah.
Yeah, if there's anything in the vicinity.
We could go to would the inn probably have information on stuff like that?
There's nothing nearby.
Possibly. Yeah, you can certainly try.
Let's give it a whirl.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you head over to the inn. As you start kind of opening the door, who's leading this?
I'll do it.
Not me.
Cool. So Gideon, as you start opening the door, you immediately see that there are actually a fair few lancers in here that seem to be on their kind of day release sort of thing. I can't remember what it is. Or shore leave. Yeah, who are just. There's probably about 6 of them that are around a table that are just kind of smashing drinks away. And then there's a smattering of a few other people that seem to be giving them a little bit of a berth. But yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna kind of head up to the bar. Speak. Excuse me there, barkeep. Barkeep?
Yeah, and a lady comes up to you. Yes, what can I do for you, sir?
Hey there, I'm not, from around these parts, but I'm looking to make my way over to Brightshade. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have a horse of my own. The prices up at the farm there are a little steep. Do you know any kind of travel that goes from this town up that direction?
Well, Not really, no. If you were looking for travel over there, I suppose your best bet would be to go to Harmon's Bay, get a boat, follow it around the coast, I suppose. Not really anybody goes through that valley anymore. It's not the most safest of paths.
Okay, a little bit unsafe up that way, yeah?
Yeah, a few kind of travelling merchants would get hit every now and again through there, and so most people steer clear of it now.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Hopefully it wasn't anyone that you were, kin with.
No, not personally. She starts pouring a drink for a round for the lancers.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, maybe I'll make my way with a harm. Thank you.
That's all right.
Yeah, and then he just goes to leave.
I'm assuming that the rest of you stayed outside.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And the hat of disguise self, is it just continuous, or do you have to keep recasting it?
I don't know.
Oh, it's directing that to Quinn, but I can look it up.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about Sabine's thing. Shit, I would recast it for him. Yeah, or at least
Yeah, it's just at will.
tell him to think really hard every 59 minutes about looking like a beanpole.
Just checking. Okay. So, what are you doing?
So, yeah, once Gideon gets out of there, he's like, "Oh, guys, good thing you didn't go in there. There's a few monsters, kicking up the storm with the bruise. But, I found an alternative route for us to get to Brightshade there. We want to head on to Harmon's Bay. Don't know if that's a place you're familiar, and maybe we'd be able to taxi our way across the coastline."
Wasn't Harmon's Bay full of lancers in the military?
Odds would be much worse there.
I feel like...
well. I guess we found somewhere else to avoid, if you'll excuse me there.
Unfortunately, it would seem that way.
Yeah, I think we'll have to brave the wild and go through on foot.
Oh, you guys used to that kind of action there?
Damn right.
Yeah, I've done a few excavations on my time. Not leaving the city too far, We kind of keep ourselves to ourselves, but sometimes we'd have, these guys come over from the Mooche House, and we'd have to, escort them on their weird little rituals. We didn't know too much about it, but yeah, we got to travel in the woods, which was quite fun. It smelled a little funny to me, but that's just a story for another time, I guess.
Yeah, another time. Yeah.
You have a load of stories that I would love to hear one day.
Oh, you betcha.
I would like to not hear them.
Okay, well, maybe you can sit that one out. I'll make you a nice meal or something. But me and your friend here we'll talk on Storm.
It's so hard to be mean to you because you're so nice.
Are we thinking we're going to brave the wilds then?
Yeah.
It certainly seems that way. Yes.
Oh, don't worry too much. Gwen will do you a bit of good to be out in the wild for a bit. Looks to me like you're a little bit of an indoor type. I'll show you the way I
Right.
Quick question, DM.
Yeah.
Retcon. But in any of the shops we went in, did we see any do they ever take tents with them on these kind of things, just so we're not sleeping just outdoors, or any kind of cover or protection if we're going to be literally sleeping stop after stop outdoors?
Let me have a look.
Sorry, it's a big retcon.
That's fine.
Probably would have been looking for it, considering we're
Yeah, I
about to
think
go
so.
on a big
I
old
feel like
the thrift shop, maybe.
Yeah, we've all got our DV bronze, silver, and gold, so we know we need tents, and stuff like that.
Double
Did any of you
decker
actually do-
boost bars.
I did the walks, yeah, but I never did any of the other bit, so I never actually got them. So.
Too lazy.
Silver, mate.
Chat against a tree. That was the highlight of my camping experience. They're like, if you poo in the woods, just lean up against the tree. I was like, fantastic.
I guess that
Shared
worked.
that with the world. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Shit by a tree.
It was liberating.
To be fair, you probably grew another tree from your shit.
A 2-man tent would cost you around 2 gold pieces.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I picked up 2 of
Easy.
those then for sure. I'll
For sure.
I'll take that out of the kitty.
Cool.
2 of those. Do you know what? Fuck it. I'll get a spare if they're not too heavy.
Nah, they're not super heavy. Like, they're pretty lightweight.
There you go. 3 tents now between us.
Sabine's already eyeing that up as her private tent, so just letting you know.
I mean, surely Ulrich should get it so he takes up less space for everybody.
No, that doesn't make any
Oh,
sense.
cool. Quinn and Gideon can share. He'll show them how to put it up and everything.
Erect.
You don't want to be sleeping with Ulrich with his nasty ass farts.
Yeah, Ulrich kind of strikes me as a guy who's got a lot of gas.
He's gaseous.
I feel like this kind of conversation would have happened in the shop when we were buying it as well.
Yeah.
Cool. So at this point now, it's probably, with all the walking around town, the shopping, probably be around about 1 o'clock at this point, 1:30. So
Into the wild we go. Let's do
into
it.
the wild, into the Gilded Forest. Cool. So Ulrich and Sabine, you have already travelled through these woods. You know that it takes around about, at this time of day, it'll probably take you probably about a day and a half to 2 days to get through. Probably on the lower end because you've already gone through and you kind of know roughly how to proceed through them. But heading through with the slight overcast, it's a pretty thick forest. There is a kind of a bit of light kind of streaming through every now and again. But as you are heading through, starts to get a little bit darker. Probably want to start thinking about setting up camp before it gets too dark, and you're doing it in the pitch black.
Sounds good. Can we try and pick somewhere that's relatively secluded off the
like a little
beaten track?
Sure. Make a survival check for me, Sabine.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, it's not too bad on the roll. It's 16 in total.
16. You kind of, as you're walking through, there's various bits of clearings here and there. You kind of find an area that's like a few kind of bushes and shrubs that are kind of rested up against a tree, and there's like a couple of other trees in the area as well. But it's kind of hard. You're just in the middle of a forest for the most part. But it provides some cover from anybody that would be heading directly from where you've just left and kind of the Madlam Valley. So yeah.
Yeah, Sabine just suggests that's where we set up camp.
Cool. So you start setting up. You have a pretty hearty meal. Which is quite nice for Ulrich and Sabine in particular, having had a stint in prison. But yeah, and it's there's a bit of a kind of relief to not being inside a city where most everybody wants to kill you. But at the same time, having this much downtime and not having to worry about what the next move is, where you need to go, kind of leaves you with time to kind of ruminate on everything that's happened recently.
Sabine would like to chat with Gideon and just like suss him out, figure out where he's been, what he's been up to. Just how did you basically the same conversation that Quinn had with you earlier, but like how did you end up in this position and in our company?
Muted.
Again.
Muted.
Well, you see, the thing is, there I was tipped off to a working opportunity with the Crown's Guard up in the mines there, where I originally saw you. Jesus. And once that went awry and all the terrorist attacks started happening, they didn't really have much use for miners and people in the factories and that sort of thing. They were focusing more on tactics and assault and combat. So I got let go, and I kind of was a little bit privy to a bit of information that I don't think they want to get it out. So when I try to make my way out the city, I kind of observed kind of a rough situation there, and needed a different way to get out of town. So that's how I got in touch with Noe and Mr. Edwin there. And they, they set me up and they said I wouldn't be traveling alone there. But I recognized Mr. Ulrich there once I got on.
When we arrived at those mines, they were really, it was a guy who we've become very acquainted with called Dante. I don't really remember his name all that well.
Danton was, I wouldn't directly say my superior, but he visited from time to time to make sure we're all in check. My camp not so much. That was more people who look like me and Greys and, other sorts of folks that you don't really see a whole lot of. So when he came over, sometimes something big was going to happen there, and the material we were mining, a little bit combustible. Sorry about my cat. A little bit combustible there, so he visited on the day we had an explosion, and that's when they decided to shut the mine down.
Yeah, I always wondered what was going on with all that. When we arrived there after a job on behalf of them, which is where you probably saw us, they didn't let us in. Literally made us camp outside the gates. It was really rude, and I did wonder what was going on in there. It seems like it was pretty fucking shady.
They like to be quite strict and throw their weight around, you had to have the special pass to get in for the day. So I'm not surprised they did that to you, even if you were working for them. Luckily for me, I was contracted under employee, so didn't really have too bad of a time with it. I enjoyed the work, honest day's work for an honest day's pay. But for them to kind of let me go like that, kind of lets you know what kind of kingdom it is when they focus more on trying to go to war there,
And thinking back to when Sabine had the item which she sold to Screech, she wants to go into detail and describe what she took from that spinning robot thing that we destroyed. This is a long time ago, so
yeah, ages ago, isn't it?
The intrigue. Let me just put my lights back on. And she just wants to go into detail and describe that to Gideon. Just be like, does that ring any bells? Like, does that sound like something that you would know anything about? Because, that was something that we found, and it was also something that I think we saw on the day of the attack on the festival.
Are you referring to...
So what she's describing sounds very much the same as the crystalline substance that you were occasionally mining.
Sorry, I missed that.
What Sabine is describing does sound like the crystalline substance that the Dantin and Solas took interest in whenever you guys would find some in the mines.
Oh yeah, that definitely sounds like what we were looking for in the mines there. I'm not too sure what you saw a terrorist doing with it or how they got their hands, but who knows where this stuff kind of grows and who's mining it. If everyone knows that it's highly combustible, then it could get into the wrong hands. Yeah, we were quite lucky to have a few casualties, not too many. It seems like they kind of kept that under wraps too, eh?
Yeah, never heard about any accidents like that, but it's interesting when the wrong materials get into the right hands and then used in the wrong ways, if you know what I mean.
Well, that's the thing, we were thinking of starting a union. None of us, excavators or anything like that. I got pulled from the factory to go swing a pickaxe, so, it could have happened to me.
It's always a good idea to unionize.
Cool. Sabine's just in her head going, I fucking know it, but just keeping that in there.
All the dots coming together, yo.
Yep.
Fucking
Luxem.
Fucking Luxem. It's at this point you see Ulrich kind of stand up and go towards the fire and get himself lit up and is like, can I have your attention, please, you lot? I just wanted to say something. I've been ruminating about it for a few days now, and I just really want to thank everybody for helping us not die in Luxem, and I know that a lot of it is my fault and the way that I look, and my kind is definitely not welcome in these parts, but I want to thank you for sticking with me, and we've even made some new friends along the way. But one we've lost recently, I just have a little something to say. Though there is gold in the mountains, lovely pearls deep in the sea, those treasures do not mean as much as Frederick meant to me. Thank you. and he sits back down and just he's got his little short sword. He'll be spinning it in his hands with sat quite widely apart, just spinning it in his hands.
Ulrich.
Anything else before you retire for the evening?
I'm not sleeping with fucking Gideon. just to drag us back down into the muck.
Well, I tell you what, there, Quinn. How about we take it in turns to keep watch?
That is a great idea.
I am no good at keeping watch, and you're excellent, you say, Gideon. So why don't you do mine for me?
Hey, Gideon, I'll go.
Yeah, here's the thing. What I'll do is I'll take watch and I'll keep a little journal to see me making my notes there. And what I'll do is I'll make a list of notes for things for you to watch out for when you're taking your watch. We'll have you ready for it in no time.
Thank you, and a good night.
So, who's taking first watch?
I will.
Cool. Okay. So, as everybody else starts to get some sleep, Gideon, can I get you to roll a perception check for me?
Uh, 15.
15. Okay. There's the occasional sound of birds in the sky, kind of the sound of rustling bushes off in the distance, that sort of thing. Nothing too alarming. It's about an hour and a half into your watch that you start to hear the sound of grunting. As you kind of hone in on it, you swear you can hear someone like cursing.
Can I go and check it out?
Sure. You start to walk away from the camp a little bit, and as you get around about 30, 35, 40 feet into the brush and kind of past a few trees, you see a little ways ahead a small campfire with some sort of hunched over small creature, kind of looks like they're like skinning something.
Please tell me it's Shriek. I want it to be Shriek.
He just observes it for a while and starts jotting some notes down.
Oh, yeah, does he? Okay, so let me just pull up his stuff for a second.
It's definitely Shriek.
You don't know that, mate. Okay, so strength score -1.
Hang on. Yep.
Or 8, I don't know. -1 would probably be the more helpful thing to know. Dex score +5. Constitution +2. AC 17.
Mm-hmm.
HP is 66.
Yeah.
And
Is it by himself?
yeah, by himself at the moment. Doesn't appear to be anybody else around. Seems very intent on what he's doing, though from the cursing, maybe doing a bad job at it.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep my eye on it.
Cool. Could I get you to make a stealth check for me?
$18. Sorry, I don't know if you had that. I've got 18.
Yep. Okay, as you're kind of, crouching down, making notes, you kind of adjust your position because you're kind of squatting down, and as you do, you step on a twig and it snaps. And the small figure kind of bolts upright for a second. Slowly, scans the bush line. Slowly, its eyes begin to look in your direction. It takes a second, it really focuses, and then it starts to pull out a knife, and then it runs into the bushes.
Towards me?
No, off to its right.
Okay, I'm going to head back to camp.
Cool. You head back to camp. Do you wake anybody up?
Don't do it.
What?
Wake me up.
No.
Okay. So you finish the rest of your watch. Nothing else eventful happens. You start to head back to bed.
I wait till whoever's on watch next to get up.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that.
Or, yeah, have we agreed for me to wake someone up?
I thought Sabine was gonna, because there's there's only one tent, and she doesn't want to share with anyone or whatever. Although I guess she wouldn't either way. But yeah, so she'll come out and do the next watch.
Cool.
Once she's awake, Gideon tells her what he saw. But how long ago did that occur between?
To the end of your watch, that would have been like an hour and a half, 2 hours ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I relay that to Sabine.
Okay. Gracias.
Cool. So, taking watch, roll perception check.
That is 20 total.
Okay. Kind of sitting there, still pretty dark out. You are just kind of perusing again the bush line, but you fail to see or feel a sharp, pointy object go into your lower back. As a voice comes out from behind you. Yeah, fella. I don't take kindly to people poking around my business. What fuck do you want?
No, I if you take that out, I think I can explain. And
How many are there? You raise your voice, I fucking split you up your spine.
You can certainly try. And Sabine's just gonna go to fucking try and stab him, even though it's behind him.
Okay, well, we'll have to pick that up next time.
Fuck.
Fuck you.
Cool. Right.
Also, the second Gideon went to bed, I kind of had an idea for stab and didn't put down the caltrops because that would have been the smart thing to do.
Okay, well, we'll pick up with that next time. Cool. Hey, guys, nobody died.
This is
That's quite
That's nice.
This was such a nice episode. We did very normal D&D things.
I know.
How beautiful.
You bartered with Willie and Chubb for horses and asses.
Yeah.
For the asses.
Yeah.
It was a very nice, pleasant. I felt quite relaxing, in all fairness. It was nice.
I did until I got a dagger in my kidney.
Yeah,
Well, you haven't been stabbed yet, so.
Oh, he hasn't actually stabbed me.
No, he just put it to your back.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, still not as. I'm still a bit more on edge. But
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
lovely.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will pick up with this probably next week. I don't know if it'll be the same day and time, but we'll see. Anything anybody wants to mention before we sign off for the evening? Once again, obviously, check us out on Instagram and Twitter. You've got Danilo is the podcast is on Twitter, and then of course everywhere that you can pretty much get a podcast. Same with ours.
You can check out the one post on Instagram. So...
There you go, the one post.
Oh, actually, you might not be able to because it might have disappeared. Couldn't tell you. You guys know more than I do. Those people listening. So... In fact, you tell me whether my post is still there. How about we do that?
Cool. Right. Well done, everybody. We've been Dungeons, Dice and Dudes, and we'll see you at the next session. Peace be with you. Praise be to Evian. Oh.